every 50 rides. One of the special endings to the ride that you can get. All right, we're live. I did that. I did it all. We did it all.
Oh my god, there's so many here. That's stressful.
Okay, it's only as stressful as you want it to be because I don't care.
I don't want it to, but I
make
it stressful.
The only things for me are just knowing where Billy is and where the songs are, like where the Josh intro is.
I don't know any of that.
Josh will show you.
Josh will show you.
Where's Billy? Under random?
GoNintendo Podcast, episode 968. The Orthworm Podcast? I guess it'd be Orthworm Podcast.
Orthor.
He digs around in the
Orthworm.
Orthworm game.
All right. Let me tell you about Orthworm game. When attacked, this Pokemon will wield the tendrils on its body like fists and pelt the opponent with a storm of punches. It is 8 feet tall. Get ready for this.
Good lord.
It's 683 pounds.
What?
It is male and female. Its category is...
That's too big for a worm. Sorry, what'd you say?
Its category is...
Segmented.
Very close.
Dig.
Earthworm?
Earthworm, yeah.
Oh, that's a category.
And its abilities include Earth Eater. If hit by a ground type move, the Pokemon has its HP restored instead of taking damage because it lives in the Orth. Thank you, me. You're welcome
to Orth.
I heard Mr. Mime has quite an Orthworm in his pants.
Wow, is this true, Mr. Mime? Mr. Mime.
Do we not have an Earthworm gym sound on the soundboard? Hi. There it is.
I'm trying to think of what we would
it may have just been Kirby doing it. So
maybe. I mean, how often would we?
Thank you, Kirby, for showing up today. You've served your purpose. Now you can leave.
I'd love to have the burps or the burp Earthworm gym, but how often are you going to use that? I mean, maybe when we say
up.
I think there's a guy at Sony named Jim Ryan, or there was, so we could do it then. But other than that,
Burpworm gym. Yeah. Whoa, Nelly.
Nicky Hill is here.
I can't tell you where it is.
Probably miscellaneous.
Hi.
How are you doing, Nicky Hill? I'm overwhelmed.
I am. I'm glad to be here. I also don't want to be here.
Oh, okay.
Conflicted. I love you guys.
You don't want to be here on the soundboard?
Stressed. I'm just really stressed in general.
You know what'll help? A nice big swig of that coffee. Coffee always calms people down. Kirby's
especially on an
here.
empty stomach. Oh, hey everybody.
How are you doing, Kirby?
Good. Yeah, happy to be here.
What a lovely surprise. The first
Thank you
podcast
for
of
having
spring.
me.
That's why Kirby's here. Deux is here.
Uku.
How are you doing? Uku. Josh Grobot is here. Josh, how are you doing today?
I'm feeling so great. Thanks for asking.
That's wonderful. Anything you'd like to share with us? Anything you've been up to? Just anything on your mind?
That's none of your business.
And that's what I thought. Then I'll move on. And George, of course, is here.
Why
George,
would you say that?
You don't want me to move on? I mean, you're doing this to
Moving
yourself.
on.
Moving on.
I don't want to be moving on.
All right. George is here. George, how are you doing?
George, no.
George, where did I go? I went to a Family Dollar / Dollar General yesterday. I guess they're owned by the same company, which I didn't know. It was ginormous. I've never seen a bigger, like one of those types of stores. It was like the size of...
Was there only one person working the registers?
There were 2, but they were very efficient. They were
they think
go.
That
Like people were, there wasn't like a ton of people in there, but there was a steady stream of people. And the 2 employees were like very, very on top of their jobs. They were doing, I've never seen a Family Dollar or Dollar General
For $1.
where, it was that organized. Like there wasn't stuff all over the aisles and you couldn't get by. And I said to Mom Brain, I was like, you know, maybe since that John Oliver episode where he was talking about how crappy those situations were, maybe they're very good. Very good. Oh, I thought that was...
That's me scratching the fabric of my my chair.
My life.
Family Dollar General
with air.
A family. That's what I call it. A Family Dollar General. So the sign out front of the store said Family Dollar and Dollar General. They were underneath each other. But when you got to the actual store, which was the size of a small supermarket, the sign said Family Dollar General, and the sign was like it was like a custom-made sign split down the middle. So they must be owned by the same company. But anyway, very
I think it was that
efficient,
John Oliver episode where I found out it was the same company.
very clean, very organized. They did a great job, and there was a whole reason I was going to tell you this, and it's gone.
Have something to do with George.
Why were you there?
Oh, George, yes, thank
That was
you.
probably lime.
Yes, they had, I don't know,
Go figure.
Family Dollar General has some kind of brand. It's something Hill. It's not Notting.
Nicky Hill?
Turkey.
It's not Sherry. Nicky Hill, sure. They have Nicky Hill. Like that's their brand. You know, every store has their brand, whatever.
Sure.
My brand. And they had like sparkling water, and they were giant bottles for $1. And I was like, I'll try one. And they had a whole bunch of flavors, and I almost went
How
with
much lead was in
lime.
it?
That's what gives it the flavor. So I almost went with lime, George, and I'm sorry I didn't. I went with wild cherry instead, and it was
I'm not thirsty anymore.
it was the best wild cherry sparkling water I have ever had. It was like ridiculously good. So probably lots of lead, like you said, Kirby. But next time when I go back, George, I will definitely get the lime. I
Definitely
promise.
get it next time, will you?
I'll get you one, and we'll set it up in front of you. And I can see you haven't finished your 7-Up from last week yet. But
Yeah, I just picked up some of that Aldi brand knockoff La Croix, whatever that is. whatever that's
yes,
called.
we have it right now.
Yeah, you know the one I mean.
I
got lemon.
You know, it's all like sparkling water.
Is it called? That's the thing. It's hard to screw up.
Like faux.
La-
I'm
yeah.
working on it. We're workshopping.
Okay, no,
Holy cow.
They both have
You
the
almost
X.
had something.
Yeah, you know, I don't know how many sparkling waters there are that are flavored where it's like, this is disgusting. I'll never get this again. You know, a lemon, a lime, a cherry, a peach, or whatever. Like all of them are going to kind of taste the same. So if you get a 12 pack from Aldi for $4, $5, $3, something like that, why not? That's why we bought it. And then I throw
Delicious.
some kind of squeezer or something in there because I'm not a big just flat or straight.
Oh yeah, that's why I
sparkling water
like
flavor.
Spindrifts sometimes because they got that
yes,
fruit juice. In
Yeah.
there.
my brain likes Spindrift.
Not
The
the,
other ones,
squeezers
too.
that you give the cat, right?
No more questions, please.
The other one is I guess we'll hold off right now. It's Nestle owned, but the San Pellegrino.
Oh man, I used to drink that like none other.
Just the sparkling water, or like the orange.
No, they're
olive
like
stuff?
the orange one and the
So they have the
lemon one.
blood
So they
orange
have
and-
the other versions that are only
Like
like
the fancy foil top.
like
on it.
15 or
Mhm.
18 calories or something. Maybe it's 10.
That's not bad.
Sometimes you might see them at Costco. They're in a so they're like skinny cans like this.
Mm-hmm.
But they're good.
Okay.
It's only
So,
it's only
yeah,
15
seltzer.
calories.
Yeah, Pellegrino gasses me out real nice.
Which is nice.
Speaking of that, how you doing? You said that last night. Sorry to talk pleasure when we're doing business, but I heard you
I
were
was
having
actually-
some cereal and it was throwing you for a loop.
I was going to warn everyone today because I ate some more cereal as well. I'm filled with milk and cheese. I ate cheese after the cereal.
Cheese cereal. Oh
Well,
wow.
I had cereal and then I was like, I'm still hungry.
You
Let
grate
me
a
have
little
some
cheese on
cheese.
top.
So, and then on the back of the Reese's Peanut Butter Puffs box, it says, this is just for children, but for some reason,
Causes explosive diarrhea.
but for some reason I saw it and I was like, it was a picture of a little kid on the back, like a drawing, and it said, Reese's Peanut Butter Puffs on pizza ? And I was like,
Oh.
they're just trying to get a kid in the grocery store to be like, Mommy,
Yeah.
get this for me. Like, no one's gonna do that. And then I was like, you know what? It probably wouldn't be the worst.
Then he
I'd
saw it in
rather
the
have
cheese.
I'd rather have just regular pizza, but like I
Yeah.
bet you if you put a couple on there, it wouldn't be bad.
Tasty.
But I didn't have any guts to do it or
Oh.
any pizza.
Now I will try that.
Now-
I'd be
we're
worried
doing
about
after
them
the
getting
podcast.
soggy though.
10th Division says, what are George's thoughts on cherry lime or lemon lime? Do they taint the perfection of pure lime flavor, George?
Yes, that's why it's taken me so lime to finish this 7-Up that's over here.
Yeah, what's in that 7-Up again? Obviously lemon and lime, but there's some
Citrus.
some kind of
Tropical.
something else.
George, do you mind?
No,
I
go
don't
ahead.
mind.
With this from your whoops.
I need my soda. Give me back my soda.
Natural flavors. That's all it says here. That's all it says. Let's see.
Doesn't it say on the front of the can?
No, it
just
just says
says
natural
tropical.
flavors. Yeah,
Yeah.
tropical.
So who knows what that means?
Oh, there looks like there's a peach, maybe a nectarine. There's palm trees, but I don't see any coconuts.
Regardless, get rid of that. Get rid of the lemon. Get rid of the soda. Give me the lime.
It says lemon lime mango peach. There you go.
Ah,
That's the
yes.
other flavors.
Oh,
Mango.
that's a
and peach.
mango. Oh, I can see it now. Orange.
So yeah, dollar store trip. I love a dollar store trip. It's always exciting. SD says Clover Valley is Dollar General's brand. I saw Clover Valley. I saw a lot of Clover Valley there, but that wasn't it. It was I just threw out the bobble today too. It was specifically something Hill. Don't remember what it was. but
Clover
something
Hill?
No, was it
Clover,
Clover Hill and Clover
oh,
Valley?
maybe it's Dollar General, so maybe it's Die on that hill.
Battle
Hill?
Maybe.
Probably Battle Hill.
I don't think so.
Over the hill.
No.
Sparkling water on Haunted Hill.
SD
Yeah.
says Clover the Hill. So there you go. That makes
Ah.
sense. Hello, SD and Blood Ocean and
Clover
Bocce.
the hill makes sense.
Like over the hill.
Oh, I get it.
Boy, oh boy.
We got there.
I mean,
Goodness.
there's nowhere to get. It was there. It was right there. 10th
Sorry,
Division.
I got there.
There you go. Radical Defect. Hello.
We have to.
J-Bug. Oh, with a Paddington gif. I like it. And oh, look at these penguins. Look at that. Burpworm Jim. Hi, Darmani. Hi, Ice Dilbert. Hi, Nico Daruni. Hi, Sneaker Hacks. Hi. Yes, there's no Mom Brain today. I'm sorry. And we will tell you right off the bat. No music today. I apologize. Send all
Shut
your
up.
hate mail
I
to
don't care.
Whoa.
NickyHill@gmail.com. Base Cubed is here, or Bass Cubed. Hello, Tater Tot. Red Souza. All that jazz. Yes, Base Cubed. I'm glad you sent that in the Discord because Mom Brain and I have been talking about it. Costco is selling a official Price is Right Plinko board. Obviously not as big as what's on the
see it
show.
at the store when I was there because I wasn't looking. I was like toys and extra things. I can't look at them. And then apparently that was the day to look. Although
like
I feel
80,
like that's like not
$8 or $90.
not in this area. You think
This one?
Yeah.
All the other games that they are selling now were there last week. Like they had the Tetris one and the Connect 4 one, all the big ones.
What games?
They're
Tetris
selling
games?
giant versions of games. They have a
You
big.
saw that, right? I thought.
No. What's a Tetris game? Like?
So it's have you seen the game where it's like
Oh yeah.
it's kind of like
It's on
Jenga, but it's
on
a
tab-
wobbly
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Yes, they sell the outdoor version, but they had our Costco had all of them, but they didn't have Plinko. But Plinko was new this week, so we will be going to Costco tomorrow to try and find this, and I will 100% be buying this if they have it. And I don't know what we're gonna do, but it's gonna be set up as a permanent fixture, and we will play it. So
Put
yes,
it
thank you for sharing that.
outside, and we all have to play it, and we
Well, that's
have
your
to
first
we have to
mistake,
win
putting it
our
outside.
way into the house.
There's only one slot for getting in a house, and the other ones
Yeah.
are like sit outside and I don't know, go to the neighbor's house.
Yeah. Look through the back door.
J-Bug, it will not be horse Plinko, although that is the first time I've seen horse Plinko. I heard that Mom Brain is not here, so the house has a chance of blowing up any second now. I heard something going on. I want to go make sure the cat's okay. I'm gonna leave it to you guys just for a second. If there's anything you want to talk about, go right ahead. If not, then just sit in silence. I'll make it very quick. I promise. 3, 2, 1, go.
I can guarantee that I'll actually think of something to talk about when he comes back.
I'm back.
Oh, all right.
Oh yeah,
She's
by the
knocking
way,
around her
I
food
have-
plate.
I don't actually have anything.
A guarantee's not worth much from you, is it?
Okay.
Sure, whatever.
I have things to talk about before I get into the things to talk about. First up is some of the former developers. Let me start again. I got a really cool email last night from someone who's involved with a new game that's coming out. I say this as a joke. I know you've evolved.
Is it Miyamoto?
It is a brand new NES game. What's it got to get? You got something against Miyamoto, too?
What? No.
He said, "Is it Miyamoto?" Oh, I got an email from Miyamoto. That'd be funny. He just reaches out to me like,
He flipped one too
I
many.
am not Ramen
T-tables.
That's
Cowboy,
right.
but I do know him.
It is a brand new NES game. It will also be on PC, from what I understand, because I'm going to get to play a PC demo of it. I don't know if it's going to go to other platforms. There will be a Kickstarter for this project launching soon. You can sign up for it now.
Hello, Steve Irwin, R.I.P.
It is called Banana Bash, and it's coming from developers who have worked on. It's like a who's who of things that I love. They've worked on Oendan, or as you might know better, Elite
Is the
Beat.
game fun?
I haven't played it yet, but it looks fun. Elite Beat Agents, if you remember.
I know that one.
The DS game about music and the male cheerleader squad that helped people through tough times in life. And it's also made by people who worked on Guitar Man, which is another one of my all-time favorite games. I have a Guitar Man shirt. I love that game. So their team reached out and they're like, hey, we're making a brand new NES game called Banana Bash. And we posted a trailer for it last night.
Sounds about right.
Man, it looks really cool. It's what's it like? It's kind of like a puzzle platformer, but not really a platformer. God, there's a game that has a mechanic that's like it, and I can't remember what the game is, but it looks like you have to clear out all the enemies in a stage, and you
Violent.
you are this little crab guy that like zips against walls. So like if you push left, you'll go all the way left until you hit the wall over there, and if you push down, you'll go all the way down until you hit a wall. So you bounce off the walls, and you have to figure out how to bounce off the correct walls to knock coconuts into the
ice
enemies.
Puzzle we were talking about last week.
I completely understand why it's called Banana Bash now.
Well, yeah. I mean, I haven't played the game, so I don't know. But
Play
You
as
get
a
to be-
crab that knocks down coconuts. Okay.
Oh, you don't get to be Yan Yan from Monkey Ball.
you know,
What's his name?
Oh,
Yan Yan is you're giving away spoilers. It's a brand new
there's
character.
Gon Gon too, right?
Nope, it's totally Yan Yan. now.
Gunt Gunt.
Let me go
Oh.
to my history.
Josh knows a little something about Yan Yan.
Oh, there is a monkey. Maybe I thought.
Boring.
Let me look at the trailer.
That's what he.
Yes, you're a monkey. Why did I think? Oh, because there's crabs in the level. I'm sorry.
Yan Yan.
You are a monkey.
Yan.
There are banana. Okay, here. Just look at this. Nicky Hill, you can
Holy
see
cow.
it.
This guy's
Is there
getting an
a
exclusive
description?
copy of this game. He doesn't know anything about it. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I can read you a description. So you're a monkey
Yeah,
that
it does
bounces
look
around,
like
not
Yan
a
Yan.
crab. Definitely looks like Yan Yan. And there are blocks with bananas on them. So I'm not clear on if you have to collect all the banana blocks and kill all the enemies, or just one or the other. But you bounce around the stage and figure out how to
So,
get it.
blocks, you bump into them. It looks like.
Yeah, once you hit a block with a banana on it, you
When
connect the
can
banana.
Nintendo and Sega start suing people for this stuff? I mean, do we need more monkey
Maybe
with
when
banana
they
games?
maybe when they stop making money off of it too,
What?
right? Because they're selling like they get a share of that, don't they?
Do they get a share of the Yan Yan money?
It has so far. The only thing this is the only way in which this is related to Nintendo is it's coming out as an NES game, and Nintendo
But for it to
doesn't
come
have
out on an
any
NES,
dog
game,
in that fight anymore.
but for companies to release games on systems, do the system
Not anymore.
makers make it? They don't make
Yeah.
anything.
Now they do. Yeah, a modern system, sure. And
So if
NES,
this
no.
is NES.
What
So
the
these-
hell are you talking about?
No, well, it's still Nintendo, but I guess
Yeah,
they
that
won't make
Nintendo does
money.
not make money off the NES anymore
But
outside
this
of
game
like
is also not
digital releases.
only
But their
coming out
company's
on
name
NES,
is in
it's
the
gonna be
name of the
available on other
system.
platforms.
Well, man, we're going full circle. As I said already, NES for sure. There will be a Kickstarter. I don't know what other platforms. I will be playing a PC demo, which would make me believe it is coming to PC. Also, the trailer shows borders because the game is a 4x3 game, old school NES style. But I see the trailer has borders. So borders would mean you'd play it on something widescreen. So PC at the least, I would guess. As a Kickstarter, I would imagine they do stretch goals for other platforms. But
When they reached out to you, did you tell them about the Switch? Did you let them know that Nintendo has like a newer system out, or?
I did not. I'm so happy I told them that I'm going to talk about it on the podcast today, because now they get to listen to all this, and I will not be cutting it. Here's the
I
official.
think it's an awesome idea. I just wish I still had my NES. That's all I'm saying.
So get a retro system that plays NES games. There's a whole bunch of them.
At this point, I probably should, because like every time we talk about a game like this, I'm always like, well, it's one game. What am I going to get a system for? But then, it adds up.
You
There's
could
so
get
many.
one of the Retron systems, which has a whole bunch of old school systems in one, like a Genesis, an NES, a Super Nintendo, GBA, a Game Boy, like
and
all
you
in one
pop
system.
in all.
Yeah.
It takes all those cartridges.
Yeah, I'll take a look at what the latest Retron is. There's other systems that do that.
And you
too,
don't
but
feel bad about doing that?
why would I feel bad about it?
That's not like a emulator level of.
That
Playing on the
may be
original-
emulation as far as hardware
Oh.
specifics go. Like sounds might be slightly off, or games might run slightly differently, but it's not like the problem would be with the software. Like if somebody was selling emulated software, that's a game from another company, Nintendo, whoever, it doesn't matter, then that would be the issue. But no, like an emulated game that's brand new, that doesn't matter. But it's not emulated, it's made to run on the NES. So.
But you're sitting pretty. You've got an NES downstairs.
I got an NES, I got a Retron, I got another system that plays NES games. Yeah, I got plenty of them. I'm going to take a look into that in a second. From team members behind, like I already said, a brain-busting arcade action puzzle game for the NES and the Famicom that will take you on a wild ride through an unforgettable blue-skied and sunny retro gaming experience. Built on a colossal 4-megabit cartridge. That is very big for the NES. One of the largest ever for the NES. The game is Banana Bash. It flips the action puzzle genre on its head, combining eye-popping visuals. The graphics for the NES look very good. Wacky humor, brain-bending challenges, and a groovy soundtrack with beat-matched and key-synced musical sound effects that will have you dancing your feet.
It's right up your alley.
Right up my alley.
Wasn't there
inspired by Rainbow Island, Snow Bros, and Bubble Bobble? Join. Oh, I know the monkey's name. Anybody want to guess?
I already had a guess.
Okay.
Cliff?
Great guess. Kirby, you got a monkey guess name? Monkey name guess?
I
I thought that was your guess.
Amy.
Uki is the monkey.
Ookie.
As he embarks on a quest across a mysterious island to reclaim his precious bananas from the sneaky crabs who swipe them. See, crabs. Get ready to jump, punch, smash, warp, and swim your way through intricate puzzles, tricky traps, and bad guy bashing action in your quest for victory and a massive score.
That was the one thing that was left out of your description when you were just going off the cuff.
Didn't I say bananas?
You said bananas.
Originally, you said there's crabs and you're knocking down coconuts.
Yeah.
You never said bananas.
I got to the banana blocks later. It's true. So there you go. You can sign up for the Kickstarter right now if you want. The Kickstarter is not live yet, but you can sign up for the Kickstarter to get a notification of when it goes live.
And so the Kickstarter, if you contribute to the Kickstarter, I haven't looked
Depends
at
on
this,
how
so I'm
you
guessing. But
contribute.
there's different tiers.
Again, hold on.
Oh, you're going to give it to us?
No,
Please-
I'm not.
please
I'm
shut
gonna
up.
tell you this one more time. The Kickstarter is not live, so all you can do is sign up to be notified when a Kickstarter goes live. So I do not know stretch goals
Kickstarter
or
for
funding
Kickstarter?
goals or any of that. So any of the things you were saying there, I do not know. But go on.
Well, no, but the Kickstarter is for an NES version of the game, like a cartridge version of the game.
They are making this for the NES, but that doesn't mean that
They're probably stretch goals for other things.
we don't know. I don't want to get into any of this because we literally don't know. Now, your base funding goal, there could be a base funding goal that says get you an NES copy of the game or a Famicom copy of the game or an NES Famicom copy and a digital copy. It could be included. We don't know yet at all, because I would imagine if I'm just guessing, I'm just speculating, I would imagine there will be an ability to pledge a low amount of money just for a ROM to let you play it on an emulator, so you don't need to have a physical cartridge. And then higher up will be a physical cartridge. That's just a guess, but I'm doing an interview with these guys this weekend, so I will ask them that.
This is this weekend. We're in it this weekend. We're in this weekend.
I know you're right.
Are we interviewing them right now?
Gotcha. He's gotcha.
Oh, I don't think they're going to want to
This
talk to
is
you guys.
I
After
can
this, I
guarantee they don't
think
want to
so.
talk to me.
No, I'm doing an email interview. But Banana Bash, they did not ask me to do this. It's right up my alley, as Deux said. So that's why I'm
Banana
telling you guys about
Bash.
it. Sign up for the Kickstarter if you're interested to learn more.
You know what? I'm going to seriously look into some sort of physical way to play these games.
Oh, that's what I want to do.
You
And
just
you don't
buy-
have to. You don't have to do it on the show.
You
don't
just
have to-
bought what,
This
a
is-
Super Nintendo last year?
No, I bought the what's it called? The little mini that has the 25 games on it.
That's all you bought?
Yes.
I love how he.
Yes, he just
You
told
have
you
a-
that.
You have a habit of doing this. Like
No,
someone's like,
I'm-
I have this
I
thing,
guess
and you're
so.
like,
No,
is
no.
that true?
I got 2 of them by mistake.
That's so yeah. All right.
and I asked you if you wanted one, and you said
for
no.
the mini though. Okay.
Do also, it's funny. I was like, let me look up the system that you can play this on, and you're like, you don't have to do it right now. I like on the podcast when we actually do talk about games, because I like talking about other stuff too, but it's funny once we get to game stuff, you're like, not now. Let's go
Well, I
through
didn't
it
want. I don't want people to be bored because they already got to put up with me being ignorant and like making my jokes, and
Oh,
and then it's like now we got to placate Deux by looking up by he can't even do his own Google search. Like,
So do you want something that just plays NES, or are you interested in other
I would
things?
like, I'd like to know what the one that does it all, because then there's no limit. I could be playing.
What does it all though for you? Like, what do you? How
don't-
far are we going?
I don't know. You made it sound like one does it all.
The Retron
Well,
5 does
all
is it
it's
Retron
different
5?
because there's
Or is
NES,
Retron 5
Super
like a-
Nintendo, N64, Genesis, Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color. Like where?
I mean, for me, I would say NES,
Why don't you just get one of
SNES,
those, like,
Genesis.
Xboxes that has 600 games inside of it.
I don't trust those.
It's not
either.
legal.
Well, that's why I'm wondering, is this? I guess this is.
Yeah, these are 100% legal. He's talking about systems that you buy at the mall that
I was
have
kidding.
7 versions of Circus Chabley on it that aren't allowed. I'm looking at, there's a whole bunch of options on Amazon. Hyperkin is one of the companies I would go with. They make the Retron, and they make all different versions of the Retron. I had a Retron a long time ago.
Well, okay, did I see something? Probably not, because I'm me, and it could have just been spam or clickbait or something, but something recently about NES cartridge games that are playing better now than they did when they were original, like something
That
about the aging
is-
process.
So you're dancing around something that is kind of true. It was Super Nintendo first off.
What a fool I am.
It was, yes, they're looking into why Super Nintendos are playing. No, I'm going to say this and then I'm going to explain it. Playing games more quickly than they were back in the day. But it really is just the speed at which the sound is played. There's something going on with sound. So pitches might be slightly higher because things are being read faster than intended. And the people that are diehard for old systems are looking into why
Could
this
it
is
be
happening.
that? Could it also be that, like, electronic connections are degraded in some way, and it's more of a malfunction than that?
I have
also,
no answer for you.
Are
I
they
do not know.
studying this so that they can isolate what's causing that, and then
I don't know if you actually
replicate
are
that
asking
in
me and
human
want to know
form?
the answer here.
so that we move quicker and more efficiently as we get older?
Solid Master Link is typing in the Discord a bunch of great ideas and recommendations for me. So I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I'll have to look into those.
I'm gonna send you a link right now. I mean, one second. Yeah, they're looking into why that's happening. I didn't see a definitive answer as to why it's happening, but the people who are into that are researching right now. Do I know that link says NES, but it's everything. Like it's all of Hyperkin stuff. Let me
Cool.
go.
I'll look into it. And then if I get one of those things, then I never have to make like those jokes anymore.
Hi, Zikamudo.
You
still
can't.
could. Hi, Malik.
You're not allowed to if you're going to be playing games on it.
I mean, I don't know if I'm going to be able to help it because I'm really
If
annoyed.
you make those jokes, you're going to jail.
So Solid Master Link told you about the Retron 5. I just sent you to the page of all the Retron stuff. So, there's systems that play NES is Super Nintendo or NES Genesis Super Nintendo, and it goes on and on and on. Whoa.
Yeah, see, like for me, there's like a fantasy of having the ability to play these games, and if I want to get an old cartridge and play something, how often really would use something like that, I don't know, but there's a fantasy there that would be like nice to have.
We've got a couple of retro places in our area.
We got some good ones, yeah. But on top
that's
of
always
that,
fun.
And you can either get a rapping Rodney Dangerfield record, or a classic
Goodbye, SD.
NES game.
I wish I remembered
place.
what that guy said to me, because I made like a little quip. We went to this retro game store, Nicky Hill and
Did I
I.
say Ronald Reagan or Rodney Dangerfield?
He went Ronald Reagan. You said Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah.
And he called him like Roger.
Yeah.
Dangerfield.
I walked in and we walked in and the Rodney Dangerfield album record was like front and center on
why
this
wouldn't
one
it be?
on
As
this
it
one
should
stack.
be.
So I immediately like grabbed it. It was like $1 or $2 or something. So I immediately grabbed it and went up to the guy and I was like, "You knew what you were doing, like, you know, putting him right in the front. You knew someone was gonna pick him or something." And he was like, "Yeah, I love, you know, Randy Dangerfield or something." "Who's that, Randy?" And like he was like being serious, and he was older than us.
Randy.
Like, so it wasn't like he
Mine
didn't
are-
know
I
who
mean,
he was. And
Mine is worse than ours.
yeah.
You're talking about old systems and how much you would actually play it. I want to stress. I mean, this is all this conversation keeps coming up because they are constantly releasing brand new games. So you don't have to think of it as just something to play old games.
But
It could be
that's where
like a system that you have, any other system you have right now, where you buy new games for
But
it.
that's what upsets him.
I don't think it
Well,
does anymore.
Hopefully, it won't upset me if I have a way to play these games.
Yeah.
You know, because like right now, it's kind of.
Plus, they would be in HD.
Hello, Freddy Fro.
Oh, really?
If like a Retron 5 or something like that, yes, it has an HD connection.
Well,
so
But that doesn't.
But
help to
like I
always-
would like the
what do you
game
mean?
that
It'll
you're
look
ta-
way better than a CRT as far as
Yeah.
clarity goes.
the game that you're talking about that they're making right now will look great. But like if I played Kung Fu or something, it's
They'll
not
all
gonna
be
look-
HD. They'll all be a higher resolution. Yeah, without a doubt.
Mm.
They don't look
Oh,
like
so
an
you
old
gotta
fuzzy NES game.
play-
It looks like very, you know, you won't have dithering and all that stuff like they used on CRTs, but you'll have very
isn't
sharp
that
pixels.
like a huge deal? Like you picked up a CRT TV on the side of the road one day to play retro games.
Yeah.
So like, isn't that what
I
you want?
like the retro look. I don't think you like the retro look. Like I like the fuzziness and the fading between and the
Hold
dithering and
on.
the reaction input and all that stuff.
all these games that are being remade into HD. All you're saying is that they just need to be played through a Retron
Hi, Freddy Fro.
system.
What do you mean?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Okay.
Everything that's redone in like the HD 3 HD 2D.
So this
No.
is different.
No.
So this Retron is different than if I just got an NES with like an HDMI adapter or something. They probably make those, right? Or did I
I'm
just make that up?
Sure, that exists. Yes,
But
but,
that probably
no,
looks like
that
crap.
I mean, if that product exists, it would work basically the same. Yeah, it should. It's just again, it's HD. It's not going to have like the old fuzzy look. If anything, the aspect ratio would be wrong. It would be stretched for the TV, but you could fix that on your TV. So
Solid Master Link asked me how often I play Nintendo Switch Online. Very rarely, sadly, considering I have access to all those great games. I did play it this week, but I don't play it that often. And then he also asks, do you own or would you be willing to buy old games? Yeah, at this point, I gave all my old games to RMC years ago.
well, if you want them back, you're welcome to.
But yeah,
Obviously.
as far as like owning any, I don't. Would I be willing to buy some?
Hi, Drake.
I would be, but
I'm nervous.
yeah, but exactly. It's like one of those things where it's like, why am I spending money on this? But it's just like any other thing that you'd spend money on. What the heck's the difference? So
That's why I'm saying go new, brand new NES games or Super Nintendo
I'm sorry,
games.
I
or
heard go
Genesis.
nude.
Go nude.
that's also what I heard.
Wow, that was a podcast discussion literally about video games to start off the show. What podcast is this? That was great.
Well,
Yes,
I'm sorry to
No,
interrupt
more.
you. Does UFO 50 come on an NES cartridge? It doesn't.
it does not,
Ugh.
man. If it was going to come on an NES cartridge, I would imagine the game would have to be completely
The
redone
game.
to make that even feasible, and it would have to be, I would imagine,
So
a
that's
pretty
not an
big.
NES game. That's to look like an NES game. Gotcha.
It
Obviously.
looks like an NES game, but in UFO 50, it's not even made for the NES. They made up an imaginary system. Now there's cartridges on the NES that have a whole bunch of games in them, like the classic Action 51 with Cheetah Men
It's,
and all those other crap
No,
games.
it's 52 games.
52, thank you. So it is possible to cram a whole bunch of NES games on one cartridge. It is a big cartridge. That Action 52 back in the day was like
A
over
scam.
$100. Like
Yeah.
it was a lot of money. Obviously, it wouldn't be that much now, but the games would have to be remade. I'm sure there are games on there that could work as
games
is on
were
the NES,
not
but other
fun.
ones that they need to be completely redone for the NES. So possible, yes, but would they do it? I don't know. I need to know the sales of the game, to tell you the truth. I'm really hopeful on the April 2nd Nintendo Direct when they announced all Switch 2 details. I would love for that to be there.
That would be incredible. I
That'd
want
be so great.
I want UFO 50 so bad, and I'm not
Yep.
I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
give
play
it to
on
us.
the PC.
When, because you don't have a PC. You don't, right?
I don't.
There's something else. Okay.
I mean,
I'll
I
leave
know
it- I'll
there's
leave
I
it-
know there's ways to do it on the Mac, but it's just like I feel like it's not worth it just for the.
Well,
for
with
that
that game,
game.
it's 50 games though. You have 50 different games. I was
Yeah.
thinking of UFO 50 today because you were coming here. We got to get back to that
Yay.
Night
haunted
House.
Night House.
House.
Yes. I remember exactly where we were, and I know we were lost, but I don't remember. We just got to look around
Sadly,
the
I don't
mansion again and find out.
Oh,
We just
God.
need to find the next piece
Yeah,
of the puzzle.
it'll be a fresh start for me.
Yes. Yes, so I'm sure that game will at some point come to other platforms. I'm hopeful we see it then, but who the hell knows, really? I got
Yeah,
no
why are
idea.
they dragging their feet about this?
I would imagine the porting. Well, either they're being quiet about it because it will be a special announcement at a Nintendo Direct, or they're just I don't know. They haven't seen the return they wanted or needed through the PC version, or I don't know.
The
I honestly
return
don't
that
know.
I need.
But like again, they don't like if it's not selling well there, why not try to sell it on like
Because of money.
But
You need money.
I mean, depending on how much it would cost or if they have to do anything to port it over.
Oh, they definitely would
money
have
into
to.
it.
That's any game that's made for a PC has to have work put into it to port over. Yeah.
You know. It's just that like it, you know, the best selling console, it would make sense to put your stuff on that.
Well, yeah, but the best-selling console did not exist when I started making that game. Literally, the Switch wasn't a thing when I started making that game, like over 8 years ago. So, yeah, I'm sure at some point during development they were like, what should we do? Should we start doing port?" And they're like, "Oh, if we do that, then we're gonna have to do this, and the game's gonna be delayed even further." Blah 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 blah. I imagine they wanted to get the PC version out. Hopefully, it's sold well enough. They need to have enough money to get it out. Then you have to be like, should we partner with a publisher to get this out so they help spread the word, or should we do it on our own again? Or
In your
who
opinion,
knows?
Why would Nintendo?
do you think
be like-
Nintendo? Do you think it would be wise for
Nintendo? No,
Nintendo
they
to
don't do
publish
that.
it?
No, they wouldn't do that.
They don't publish things.
Yeah, they publish stuff, but not for willy-nilly random third-party company or indie companies.
Random, best. What didn't they win an award or something?
They've
for like,
won a few
new
awards, yeah.
Debut, not debut. What was it?
But I don't know exactly what awards they won. They have won awards, but they were
Mm.
nominated for best indie debut and best retro game and best game in general and stuff like that. So yeah, they've done that. But Nintendo would not do that. No, Nintendo publishes their own stuff. Nintendo publishes second party partners, obviously, because it's second party. And then Nintendo will do things like Square Enix will be like, "Hey, Final Fantasy this. You want to be our like Dragon Quest 11?" They're like, "Dragon Quest 11, you want to be our publishing partner?" And Nintendo's like, "Yeah, let's strengthen our relationship." So then it happens, and then like 3 years later, it reverts. The game gets removed for a couple weeks, and then Square Enix becomes the publisher again. So it's like Capcom, Square Enix, stuff like that. Like they don't. Trying to think of an example where they published an indie. I guess you could say like Snipper Clips, but really they gobbled that game up. It's not like they just swooped in and published it and that's it. Like Snipper Clips became a Nintendo IP. So, yes, it's not something. Would I like Nintendo to do it? 100% yes, but there's no evidence there to show that Nintendo would consider something like that.
I feel like it'd be perfect for the Switch. I mean, we've talked about that already, but just being handheld or or just a classic game that's obviously 50 games inspired by the NES. I feel like they'd be like, hey, if we can make this Switch exclusive, and people would just go crazy.
Well, that's the other thing. They would want exclusivity without a doubt, but then on top of that, Nintendo would not be happy about the game being on PC. They wouldn't like. Hey, wouldn't want that.
Nintendo.
If a third party,
but get over it.
if
you
a third
know?
party
Make that
already
money.
makes something and then puts it out, like and talks to Nintendo and says, "We're going to put it here, console exclusive for a limited time, and then it's going to go to other places." Sure. If a company goes to Nintendo's like, "We are already out on PC, now we want to be exclusive Switch," sure they could happen, but Nintendo's not going to do anything with publishing.
How do we snap it up then?
How do we snap it up?
Like
I want to snack
like
it up.
Donkey
Yeah, you said
did
snack it up.
with Animal Well. How
You
do
start
we
a
do
publishing
that?
company and you
We
got
can
to
do that. Go
well,
Nintendo Publishing today. Done. Now what?
All you
What
need
is
is
$20, $30 each. I
was
mean,
gonna
all
say,
each.
Donkey's got just a little bit of money from his YouTube channel, so
He does well.
Yeah, so that's how you
Good for
become a
him.
publisher. Yeah, you need money to be a publisher
We
because
could
you're
start
marketing a game.
Kickstarter.
We
could
could
start a
I mean,
Kickstarter
yeah,
to
why
publish something
Yeah.
with
To
money we don't
fund the
have.
publishing
Exactly.
company.
Something about that I don't think is legal, but let's do it.
Yeah, I think if anything, they would kickstart their own game, but yeah, I don't know that anybody would kickstart us as a publisher. Well, what are we bringing to the table anyway? We got nothing other than we like video games. Like, I don't have any marketing experience or anything.
Oh, we have to have more than just like we
The
want.
desire?
We want it to be
Yeah.
on the system.
I mean, no, you don't have to. You'd be a horrible publisher, but you don't have to. Sure, if people fund
We
you,
go
people
door to
fund you.
door. We
I had to do it.
grassroots.
Gamers are very notorious for being friendly and talkative in person. Yes, that'd be a great idea. So there you go. Banana Bash is where all that started. Keep an eye out for the Kickstarter.
Pretty
You
Fro
can
says
you can
the
sign up for it now.
Nintendo publishing label could be Living Lime Publishing.
I mean, there's no problem with names. We could come up with a whole bunch of names. I'm more worried about the revenue and the money to fund everything. But that's a discussion for another day. All right, talked about Banana Bash. There was something else I was going to talk about, but it's got, man, you have a game related topic and it just ruins my mind for everything else. I'll move on to Patreon. Nicky Hill, did you know that you can join the GoNintendo Patreon
For $1.
for $1? Just $1. What do I talk about this week? Let me tell you. I wrote about, without spoilers, Adolescence, because I watched Adolescence and it's one of the best things
I just
I've
gone
seen
through puberty.
in a long time. From the way it is shot to the story it tells to the acting within to everything about it. It is
incredible.
an
5 out of
amazing
5.
achievement. It is very adult in nature. It is only 4 roughly
That's
1 hour long episodes. Adolescence is very adult in nature. Heavy topics. So if you are
Adolescence, but it's TVMA. I'm getting mixed signals.
if you are worried about any of that stuff, maybe do a little more research before going in. But it's on Netflix. I can't recommend it enough. I believe Deux would do the same with me.
It's great.
It's a phenomenal achievement in many ways. And the young boy who is the lead actor, or at least is the main part of the story. It's his first acting job, and you would never guess it because he destroys that
so
role.
good.
He is incredible.
And it's 4. I don't know if you just mentioned this, but there's 4 episodes, and they're each about an hour long, and each one is a one shot, like one take for an hour with no CGI. There's a little bit of CGI elements, but not for helping like cuts or anything.
It's when the giant like robots come in.
Yeah. But so to have an episode going for 50 minutes, and then at the end the kid has to cry real tears or something. I mean, the pressure, it seems insane with like so many people involved in like this one take episode just
right
to
before
get
the camera turned to him, they punched him in the nose.
well
the nuts.
Then good job to the
Nose puncher.
kid puncher, because that was
I say that
the
all
grip,
the time.
right? That was probably a grip, right? They don't have to
Best
have
boy grip.
a new like a kid puncher. It's just like a grip. But it was excellent. And in fact, Stephen Graham, who plays the father, I've seen him a bunch. He's always excellent, but I've seen, especially because my love of the show, a bunch of like interviews now with him and recently, and he's a main man now. Like he's like
I'm getting him on TikTok a lot.
He seems like a great person, and it's just always great now to see him and his love for the craft and everything that goes into it. And it's something that you don't expect when you hear his accent, because it's like really his accent, and you're just like kind of taken aback, like, wow, this guy's like really caring, a real artist. And like
my understanding is the UK audience like loves that man. Like he's a very familiar face over
Cool.
there. I have seen him over the years and stuff. I never paid attention to really any of it, but my understanding is, yes, he's very beloved over there, and I can see why, because he certainly kills it in this. Everybody
Is he
in this show
related
is amazing.
to is it Will Graham? Is that the other guy?
From Hannibal?
Yeah.
I just wrote about
He's-
Hannibal
he's
last
British.
night.
wow.
Or English?
Somebody on TikTok. He is. Somebody
What's
on
the-
TikTok.
What's the
was
appropriate term? I'm always messing
both.
it up.
Whatever.
Is it?
English, British. There's one I'm forgetting. Somebody else.
United Kingdomish?
That yes,
That's-
but not as often
How
used.
could we have
but yes.
forgotten?
Yeah, somebody on TikTok last night was
Kirby
like,
sitting over
I
there,
need a
he's like,
show.
why did I come here?
They were
I
saying I
was
need a
not
show
thinking
that
that.
isn't like really extremely well known, but is very fantastic. And I was like, well, Hannibal's certainly one of them. I put a bunch of other ones in there, but Hannibal was my first one because it's great. So watch that if you're into great TV. I also wrote about how it's a very strange time in the game industry right now. Publishers and developers are closing left and right. There's mass firings and layoffs, and
It's everywhere.
things grew
Unfortunately.
exponentially during the pandemic because lots of people were staying at home and looking for things to do. So games were selling big time. And some of that audience has certainly remained in the industry, but obviously not to the degree that it was back then because it was like a situation we've never experienced, at least in our lifetime. So, of course, millions of people were looking to keep themselves entertained and occupied and not lose their mind during that time. And now that things are back to more normal, pandemic is still around, all the issues are still here, but they're not where we were a few years ago. Many of those people have decided to get back to their more regular lives, so they're not playing as many games, and companies were filled with employees, and now they're not making the money that they were before, and because big wigs in companies are always like more money, more money, more money, go go go, and they never look towards the future because they don't really care about that. They just make their money and their bonuses, and they're like, oh, we're not making as much money, let's
They're
just
like-
axe 300 people, it doesn't matter.
They're like tripling their bonuses year over
Yeah.
year, and then they're turning around. They're like, "Oh, it's too expensive
Yeah.
to pay all these
Yeah.
people."
Yeah.
It's like
Crazy if true.
So that's what happens. So I was talking about that. Plus, Microsoft trying to find its new voice in this game industry where they're going to make another system. We heard that. There's also the rumors of them doing a portable. I want to stress that the portable is going to be, from my understanding, basically like a Steam Deck or something like that. It's not going to be like, they might call it an Xbox something, but it's
Ooh, I think Josh wants to be the new voice of Xbox.
it's going to be
Call of Duty, bro.
Hey, there it is.
well, it's going to be on there. Sure. They own that now. It's going to be like completely threw me off, Josh. It's going to be like a Steam Deck in the sense that it'll I'm sure it'll play it'll have access to Game Pass on PC and stuff like that. So it's going to be more like that. It's not like Microsoft is going to make this to be a direct competitor to the Switch or anything like that. Obviously inspired by the Switch's success, but still that's the rumors that they're doing that, but pretty much true. But Microsoft is not what they were in the console space anymore. People have pretty much, I don't want to say abandoned them because there's still tens of millions of units of the Xbox sold out there, but it is not what it used to be by far. And Microsoft is more interested in Game Pass and gobbling up companies and be a system for distribution rather than somebody who's hardware first. Sony is still doing their thing, and the PS5 is doing well, but now it's trending behind where the PS4 was, which I honestly don't think is surprising on a worldwide scale. I believe in the US is still barely ahead, but give it 6 more months, it's going to be behind. And the Microsoft and Sony now are like, oh, wow, we could be in trouble here just going after graphics. I don't know what we're going to do. Whereas Nintendo recognized that, 15 years ago? How long was the Wii? 20 years ago? Jesus Christ. And they were like, yeah, we this is stupid to keep fighting this fight. And they made their shift and it worked out great for them. So it's a
Sorry,
strange
the
time because
Wii?
now, like, huh?
When did the week 2006?
I think
when
that's
the Wii
right.
Came out. That's
Yeah.
oh god, that was
Um,
a long time ago, huh?
So Nintendo has always been like that, but they really decided to make that shift from GameCube to Wii, and it worked out for them. And now Nintendo's the big guy in the game industry. The Switch is by far the most successful system. All eyes are on Switch 2. Everything we've seen makes it seem like the Switch 2 is going to have an insane lineup as far as third-party stuff goes. This Switch 2 Direct that's coming up on April 2nd, I think it's going to be one of the biggest and best directs we've ever seen because without a doubt, third parties are going to line up to bring their content to this system. No doubt about it.
If
This
they want to
system,
fail, I mean that's the plan.
this
right?
system, more than any other from Nintendo, has opened the eyes of third parties to a large degree because they found incredible success and they've learned that, oh, if we actually put in the time and the money and the effort, people over here will buy this. And holy crap, they're way more open to genres than people on other platforms are. And, Nintendo fans have known that for a very long time and have been saying, just give us the effort and we'll support your game. More or less, there's still games that don't hit like they deserve to, but the Switch has shown that third parties, indies, and Nintendo can all coexist and have great success. So Switch 2 is coming. So It's just crazy. Nintendo's on top of the world as far as games go. Microsoft is at the bottom. I don't like saying it or take any pleasure in saying they're doing things are rough for them right now, but they are. And then Sony is, you know, still going with an old mentality. They're not doing bad, but the writing is on the wall more so than ever. And the console wars as we knew them are pretty much dead. They don't exist anymore. So at least not in the way
It's
they used to.
interesting. I saw a video on IGN the other day that was like, "Are the console wars dead?" And they spent 30 minutes talking about Microsoft and Sony. Didn't talk about Nintendo once. And I was like, "This is such BS."
They've always done that, and they will always do that. And they may say it's because Nintendo operates in their own space, and they're not
Well,
the
they don't have to
traditional.
talk about Nintendo because we all know Nintendo is doomed.
They're not the traditional competitors where it was Sony and Microsoft, and they always were seen as the two that were going at each other. And during the GameCube era, sure, Nintendo was very much a competitor, straight direct competitor with Sony and Microsoft, without a doubt. But you could argue since the Wii, Nintendo has been like, we're going to go over here and do this. But I still take issue with that, yes, because they're all in the video game space and they are a competitor. And it's very stupid to be like, are the console wars over? And talk about Microsoft and Sony and ignore literally the company that's doing the best in the game industry. That seems like an ignorant way to have a conversation.
With quote last gen hardware or whatever.
Yeah, it does bug me. As a Nintendo fan, it bugs me. As a gamer, it bugs me because it's being disingenuous to be like the console wars with these two guys, and you're like, well, what about the number one guy over here right now? Why is this not a discussion at all?
How long before Sony or would it happen? Probably not. I guess one acquiring the other. I guess not.
Would Microsoft acquire
because
Sony?
they're part of much bigger companies.
Sony could never, at least where we stand now, acquire Microsoft as far as gaming goes. They don't have the money to do that at all. Microsoft has the money to acquire Sony's gaming division. I don't see Sony ever doing that where it stands now. Microsoft tried to buy Nintendo before, and Nintendo laughed them off.
Thank goodness. Can you imagine if they just ran Nintendo into the ground like they are with everything else they own?
There's a whole bunch of emails that were leaked when Microsoft was trying to buy Nintendo, and the emails were basically like Nintendo laughed us away. They don't want to do it, and they're like, no matter how much money we talk about, they just don't want to do it. And I'm like, yeah. How are you in the game industry and you fundamentally don't understand how Nintendo operates? Like, you would know never to go to Nintendo and be like, we will scoop you up.
Why wouldn't they try to scoop Sony up then? If they try to scoop Nintendo,
because they know Sony would never go for it. Sony just would never do it. As
Sony would be like, they can't buy us. If they buy us, they'll own everything, and they won't let us have any games.
It sounds like,
but they would never think that Nintendo wouldn't do it because they fundamentally didn't understand Nintendo.
Well, that's what makes it seem like they're disrespectful of Nintendo, as well as everyone else thinking like, oh, it's not even a next gen system. They're not even competing with us. We can just go in and buy them. Sony would never take the deal. You could
see it as disrespectful. I think it's more ignorance, which in and of itself can be considered disrespectful, sure. But I think it was just more Microsoft being like, we're going to give Nintendo a great deal. And at that time, this was, after the GameCube era, Microsoft would look at Nintendo and be like, their IP is huge, but their systems are not selling. So we're going to come in and scoop them up and be like, make whatever you want. And this would be a great deal for them. But Nintendo, that is so against how Nintendo operates in every way, shape, and form that, Nintendo would not do that. Even if Nintendo was dying, they would not do that.
That's where we're struggling in a lot of other industries. I feel like there's a lot of companies or a lot of CEOs or whatever who are just like, you know what? Yeah, give me my money and take everything. And that way I don't have to work anymore and I have all this money now. Where Nintendo is just like, no, because we're doing what we enjoy to do, doing, and
Hi, Steister.
We're still building. We're not just giving it away.
But Microsoft just has so much as far as assets that it's not like they're going to go the way of Sega and just make games, stop making a system and make games.
I would argue they should.
I mean, that would be not that there's any games that they're making that I want to play anymore. But
one of their new slogans is everything's an Xbox now, because you get whatever Game Pass or stream on your phone or on your TV. So sure, they're going to put out another piece of hardware, an Xbox branded hardware, but you would argue where they're at now, why not go just to making games or funding games being made? I can't imagine it. I don't know. can't imagine they're really making money on hardware. I don't know for sure, but who
They should
knows?
buy Sega and make a Sega Xbox Dreamcast, and then we'll talk about how bad that is. Anyways, sorry. As I was saying it, I was like, even this as a joke isn't working.
Well, Sega at the time when Microsoft came around, they worked the deal with Xbox because that's how we got Jet Set Radio Future and whatever. There's something else, but
that was fun.
because at that time Sega was going third party and was uncharted waters for them. Yeah, it would be cool to see Sega get back into the rat race like that, but that would just be from like a fanboy perspective, not from a money perspective. They're doing better now than they've ever been, so why would you want to get back into that race? Toe Jam and Earl 3, thank you, Radical Defect. That was the other Xbox game. I was excited for that back in the day, and that's where I will leave it.
So
Yeah,
they made it into a
Shenmue, you're
racing
right.
game?
Panzer Dragoon, huh?
Is that when they
Thank you,
made
Solomon
Toe
Solomon.
Jam and Earl into a racing game?
No, but I want to say Toe Jam and Earl are in a racing game. I think.
Man,
The
that
Sega one, obviously.
That Shenmue, I never played 1 second of it, but I remember watching you play it in your bedroom at your parents' house on that
Mhm.
tiny TV.
Would you like a game of Lucky Hit?
Me, you, and Andrew Foote
Can you tell me
watching,
where the sailors
Yeah,
are?
like crowding around.
All I think
this
about is
little
Lucky
TV.
Hit and Sailors.
Because we'd never seen a game like that
It
before.
was incredible. It blew my mind
Yeah.
open. I couldn't believe it. And you're like time to go to work at the dock and drive a forklift. I mean, that sounds so boring, right? We were like, this is incredible. Like, let's beat up a guy in the pachinko machine
Yep,
arcade. And I
yep.
was like, I don't know what those words mean, but this is
I've
cool.
never wanted it more. Yeah, that was an amazing game. I still haven't played the sequel. I got to go back and play the sequel.
And it seemed like if we went back and played it, it's probably just like one street or something, but it seemed like a whole village. I was like, this is the biggest
that was it.
playing area I've
That's
ever
what it was.
seen.
It was like
Yeah, the
everything in it is
possibilities
supposed
must
to
have
be
seemed
interactive,
endless.
right? Like you can interact with everything.
It seemed amazing. I don't know why it was so.
It was amazing for the time.
God, I loved that. I wanted a Dreamcast so bad.
Well, I
mean,
don't know if
there's
I'm sure there's a retro system that plays Dreamcast games. but-
I don't think it would. I think it's just gonna live in my memory as a great memory.
I
I don't think if I had
I
one and
just
I
wanna
played it, I
say-
would feel the same.
I have Dreamcast downstairs, and I do have Shenmue.
Well, maybe
Think
we
about
should-
it.
Yeah, maybe I should.
That's
play.
a Patreon series. Play Shenmue and Patreon.
We should do something. I mean,
Yeah, I wanna
play
do something. Yeah,
I mean, I'd
definitely.
love to play something.
We got Chrono Trigger. We got to get you to play Chrono Trigger, or something. Oh, Mother 3. We had
Mother 3.
Yes, we talk about this all the time, and we never do it, and we only never do it because of me. It's my fault, but I want to do it.
It is your fault.
I just you've heard my mental state lately. I apologize. Moving on. I also talked about Jump Truck, which is a Playdate game.
Oh, you're still on that.
I jump into Playdate every week still, but I'm very quickly playing. It's not enough for me. Like I don't feel like I'm spending enough
Well, they
time with
update the
something to
games,
actually
what,
talk
once
about
a
it.
month or once a quarter.
No, they had like a I'm gonna call it a season
Well,
of games that you get, but there's new games all the time on the shop. It's like any other digital platform you go. And I have a whole list of games I want to play. Jump Truck is one of them. I downloaded Jump Truck this week, but I haven't had the chance to play it yet. But it's kind of like San Francisco Rush and Stunt Race FX and just and it's like Super Monkey Ball. Like it's an arcade style racer where it's like drive through the course and get to the finish before the time's up. Yan Yan. Yeah. So it's very arcade style, and I love arcade style racers. So I wrote about that, and I will be writing about it more in the future when I actually get to play it. Jump Truck is the game for the Playdate. Look that up. It's another game that's right up my alley. I wrote about Wander Stop. Oh, Mom Brain sending me a text, and I'm very. Oh, look at how happy she is. Mom Brain with Miss Piggy. She's in New York City at the whatever Muppet
Oh, it's at the museum
event.
of, moving.
Who the hell knows? Sure. I got news for you. She ain't moving. Well, there's one way to make her move. I'm gonna ask her if I can share this picture with
So are
you
you
guys.
talking about
Can
Mom Brain or Miss
I-
Piggy?
That's for you to decide. Can I share this in the podcast Discord? And you'll get the answer soon. I talked about Wander Stop. I mentioned Wander Stop last week because I was playing it. I talked about it more this week on Patreon because I finished it, and I will talk to you guys about it in great detail later on in the show because it's something I played. Speaking of, not yet. I also talked about Paradise. Anybody here know about the show Paradise?
Only
I
'cause
know of
you.
it.
You mentioned it.
I know they had a viral advertising thing the day it launched on Hulu, and it freaked people out. In
Tell me about it. I
areas.
don't know.
They had skywriters
Mm,
right across the sky, like nothing is real or something
Mm.
like that.
okay.
And this is at a time when there was drones around and all this
Mhm.
other stuff, and like, I don't know when it came out exactly, but it was around the change in administrations and stuff, and people were just very on edge, and so yeah, when you start writing things in the sky,
Well, I guess it worked for them. Without
still doesn't
spoilers.
beat. Remember that movie Chronicle with like the three friends?
Yes.
Who went down into a hole after like a meteor hit or something, or like a spacecraft, and they got special superpowers.
Yes.
That
Superpowers.
They have special
That-
superpowers.
that viral marketing thing was amazing. They had like cutouts of human forms, but put like drone like propellers or whatever inside, and so they were flying over like down like
city.
downtown Manhattan or whatever, and people were like freaking out because from the ground it looked like real people flying through the
Wow.
sky.
I wish. For without spoilers, Paradise. This is a spoiler, but it happened. It's literally the first thing that happens in the show. It's about a Secret Service agent, and he is watching.
He goes on vacation.
The president after the president has
An elite beat agent, if you will.
I might have seen a trailer for this.
no, not an elite beat agent. Yeah, so a Secret Service
I think
agent. He's on house duty for the president, and he goes to see the president in the morning. He's like, "Time to get up, Mr. President." Knocks on the door. Doesn't answer. He walks in there, and the president is dead.
Dead.
Gone from life.
The
And
president's neck.
there's
is
other
missing.
twists and
Wait,
surprises in there, but
is-
that's the base of the show.
I thought
Please don't spoil.
James Marsden is in it, right?
He is the president.
Is he?
Yes, he's very good.
Well, that happens in the very beginning.
I'd
That's
vote for
literally
him.
what the whole show's
'Cause-
about, and he is in the very beginning. Yes.
Oh, because he's in like all the trailers and stuff. I thought he was.
The show has many flashbacks, so James
Oh.
Marsden is in it a lot.
Is
I
it-
thought you were gonna say like the Secret Service agent goes up to the bedroom to wake him up, and he's
With Sonic.
masturbating.
He's in bed with Sonic.
Just 1 second.
Don't look at me!
Ba, 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 ba.
Raise the flag!
Oh, I've got an executive order.
Hold on, I'm
for
a
ya.
half-mast in here. And he literally is because he's dead.
So, I
Go on, yes.
this is a me thing, and I need to get over my crap.
I hate that James Marsden works with Sonic the Hedgehog.
I hate, especially these days, watching anything, any movie or TV show where the United States president is a character. I hate it because it's always like somebody that should be president. And like, I just look at it and I'm like, that's not real. It's not real. This is fake.
Well,
It's taking me out of it. And like, I know it's me thing.
Hey,
But
it
it drives me nuts.
I've said the same thing to you about real life affecting what I'm doing in my leisure time, so I get it. But I will say, based on the 2 episodes I've watched, without spoilers, this is a complicated president. So it's not a cut and dry. Everybody loves the president.
Right, but
so-
I'm sure he's like smart and like can speak and like maybe is like good with people.
I'm going to tell you one thing. There's a story that happens in one of the episodes where the president's wife, after the president is dead, it's talking about how the president loved the Secret Service agent, and she tells a story.
Wow,
So
wow.
that's how it is.
She tells a story about how the president wanted to play basketball with the Secret Service agent. It's the black guy. What's that black guy's name? The actor, the lead guy in the show. I don't remember what his name is. I think he's got 3 names, but it's a black guy. And
Well, have you seen him in something else?
oh yeah, lots of stuff.
Is it Sterling K. Brown?
That's it.
Nice, I got it.
So,
Nice.
she says to him, he really wanted to play basketball with you, and he goes, he's racist, and she goes, he had an old school way of thinking about things. So it's
Oh.
he's got wrinkles to him that make him like he's got things about him that you don't like, obviously.
right.
So
I mean,
if
again,
that
in the-
helps you with
In
your
the ads for it that I've seen, he also looks. There's things that he says that are like,
Well,
I
it
don't
helps
trust
a
this
little.
guy.
It helps
Yes.
a little. It's better than the De Niro thing that's on Netflix where it's like, you know, the president is like a black woman or something that's competent, and it's like, we'll never have that. Sorry, we're not going to vote for that.
We may.
I would, but no one else.
We would
will.
have it, but maybe not in our lifetimes.
Yeah.
We the people. But so yeah, I'm watching Paradise, and I wrote about that because there's, as I've said many times with Drew, there's so many things to watch right now, and it's a time of great TV, but much of the stuff is releasing once a week, so there are days where I don't have something to watch. And I saw the trailer for Paradise, and I was like, looks all right. I'm kind of interested. I like a murder mystery. And I told my sister, and she watched it, and she was like, it's good. It's not amazing. She's like, it kept me intrigued through the whole time, and blah, blah, blah. And reviews are pretty good. Audience and critics alike. So I was like, I'll give it a shot. And so far, I called it popcorn TV. Like, it's not anything where you're going to be like, you got to watch this, but it's a very easy watch. It does sink its hooks into you. It's got interesting plot lines. It's not, it's not amazing by any stretch, but it's enjoyable.
Are there too many
cooks?
Problematic people that are involved with Silicon Valley,
What are we talking about? Real life?
the
or...
TV show Silicon Valley?
I don't understand this question at all, but I'm willing to learn.
Are there multiple people involved, enough people involved in that you wouldn't watch it because it's the problematic people? I don't know.
You're talking about real life.
He's asking you if you would watch that show, I guess.
The real people who are involved in the making of that show.
Wait, are you asking if he's talking about the real Silicon Valley or the
I said
the
in
TV
real life,
show?
the show.
Yeah, but when you
but
you're not being clear when you say in real
life. You're thinking
life.
of someone, and I don't know who you're thinking about because I don't know
the
anybody
one guy,
in the show
and I
who's
don't remember his
problematic.
name now. He's the guy that's in the first Deadpool movie.
Yeah,
as well.
TJ Miller.
TJ Miller.
Walsh.
He was canceled.
He had issues at
TJ Miller's in the show. I had no idea. Haven't seen him yet. I had no clue.
Yeah.
No idea.
Not in Paradise. Silicon Valley.
Okay, what does he have to do with Paradise?
You
What
were
does this
just
have to do with
I'm
anything,
sorry,
actually?
I brought up a show. We'll talk about it later.
No, now I need to know.
You're talking about
We
shows that
better
are
not
coming
be
up
talking
and
about
stuff,
this
and then
later.
you were like, "Oh, I guess I'll watch this."
Yes.
And I'm just asking about that Silicon Valley because I really liked it.
Oh,
and
you're
I've talked
asking me to watch Silicon Valley.
I'm just wondering if
Unrelated
there's
to
reasons
Paradise
to
at all.
not watch Silicon Valley.
Not that I knew of.
that
No, I
I
wouldn't
don't
not watch
know.
it because of TJ Miller. Like he was in that show before we knew he was a piece of garbage, so it wouldn't affect me now.
Right, and again,
I wouldn't support him going forward.
I don't know everything about him with his being
He was a
problematic.
booger.
What?
He was a booger. He's phlegm.
Oh, gotcha.
It's in those
Mucinex
Mucinex commercials. He's a mascot.
Oh.
Now they got somebody that sounds like TJ Miller.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know where he is now as far as working on himself and things like that. I know.
Hey, listen, I'm open
had
to a path
problems,
of redemption for people.
and
Yeah.
So I don't know where he is now. Anyway,
But I thought he also
Well,
had
tell me
some
more
like
about Paradise.
underage issues too, and
like
that,
that,
I'm
I
a
don't
little
know about
yeah.
that.
I need to do more research
Yeah.
if I'm gonna. But again, I wouldn't have any problem watching a show. It's like the Michael Jackson thing. If Michael Jackson were alive and he put out music now, I would not listen to his music. If a Michael Jackson song comes on now, that's an old song.
I will dance
listen
to
to it. But yeah, I'm not going to celebrate the guy's career going forward. But so if TJ Miller was in something new, if I heard TJ Miller was in something new now and there's a show I wanted to see, I would read into TJ Miller and be like, where am I at? Where's he at? Let's feel this out. And then I'd say, so yes.
So if he and Mark Wahlberg and Mel Gibson
No,
started a publishing
no,
company,
no. Because I know Mel Gibson is still a piece of garbage, and I know Mark Wahlberg is still a piece of garbage. So TJ Miller potentially maybe not being a piece of garbage anymore is not enough to win over the other two for me. So there you go. Paradise. And it is Paradise because all three of the people I just mentioned are not in it. So watch without any worry.
So why can you mention without any spoilers why it's called Paradise?
I can't without spoilers. Honestly, I can tell you later.
It's
if
a
we wanna know.
reboot of Paradise Island.
Well, if it's a spoiler, I don't want to
Except
know.
the
Okay,
island-
if you say
I
I
would
should
s-
watch, then I'll give
I
it
would
a watch.
say it's
Except the
directly-
island that they're talking about are the continents of North and South America combined?
Pedophile.
I'd be very surprised if you didn't find it exactly like I'm finding it. You'd be like, yeah, there's things going on I want to learn about, and it's a very enjoyable show. I would say the acting from some of the people is pretty damn good. There's a woman, I don't know who I've seen her in other stuff, don't know her name, but she's really good. She has some very emotional scenes where I'm like, she's giving it her all here. She's really
But
good
if
at
she
it.
was a man, you'd remember her name.
No, I didn't remember the other
He's
guy's name. I
actually
already forgot
terrible
it.
at
I'm horrible with everybody's names. Yeah. All I know is James Marsden because he's related to video games. He hangs out with Sonic.
Marzipan. That's why, because you
Oh,
like
I
marzipan.
wish. I mean, he is handsome. I'd eat him up now, but if he was James Marzipan, I'd really. Moving on. I talked about Soul of Sovereignty. And you might be like, this guy already talked about Soul of Sovereignty like a year ago. It's true. But the game has been updated with a new chapter. And
The
I will
game.
get way more into that later in the show during that segment. I wrote about, last but not least, the Great American Baking Show.
Oh yeah, I saw. Is that a thing? Has that been a thing, or is it
Let
new?
me explain to you, Nicky,
'Cause I saw
I'm
somebody's
very
in it.
intrigued. Yes.
Somebody's in it
So,
that we're all familiar with.
The Great American Baking Show did exist. It aired on ABC, I want to say, for 2 seasons. And ABC did.
Who's in it? I'm doing it.
I don't
It's
know.
a
What
terrible.
I
Oh, boy. Now it's getting real bad.
is that supposed to be someone from a
He's
show?
doing who it is. Yeah. And I don't think I would ever guess.
Oh, Stanley Tucci.
All right.
Dylan.
Let me just tell the
Dylan
story.
from Severance.
Dylan G.
Oh, okay.
So the Great American. Are you listening? This story's for you.
You're talking to me?
Yeah.
Go for it.
The Great American Baking Show was on ABC. I believe it was there for 2 seasons. I watched one of them.
ABC American
ABC.
Baking
ABC.
Show.
Company. Yes. Because I'm
Chow.
a big fan of Great British Baking Show. Great British Baking Show. But I was like, so of course I'm going to watch the American one to see how it is.
Were the British judges on the American one?
I will tell you everything. I promise.
Probably not.
There were British judges. Yes.
But not
Paul
the names.
Hollywood was there, I believe. And I want to say maybe Prue was there. I could have been both of them. I don't remember. Here's the difference. I would say they gave like 70% of what, oh my God, it's Dylan G. They gave 70% of what you want from the Great British Baking Show and 30% American reality show. And I was like, why?
Because
the
they
reason
have to
people
make
like
them
it is
do it.
because of what it is over here. So I was like, no, I watched that whole season. I was like, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't right. I did not watch season 2. Obviously, fans of the show did not watch season 2 because it disappeared off of ABC. Now, season 3, the show was picked up by Roku. It is a free-to-watch show on Roku. You don't need a Roku device to watch it. You watch it on the Roku channel, which you can do for free. My understanding is, and also from the trailer, Roku was like, here's a wild idea. Let's do it exactly like the original show, and people might like that better. That is exactly what it seems like to me. From editing to music to all of it, it seems exactly the same, but it's American bakers. It is hosted by Casey Wilson, who's an actor and presenter, and as Nicky Hill said, Dylan G from Severance. Zach Cherry is his name.
Is he a baker at all? Does he bake?
Haven't watched the show. I don't know. But I'll watch him cook on the Great American Baking Show, to use common verbiage of the children nowadays. Let them cook. But I saw the trailer. It looks great. You can watch it for free. I'm totally down. I love the Great British Baking Show, and I really hope they take it in the direction of the Great British Baking Show, because that's why the show's popular. We like it over here because of how kind and caring and nice and sweet and not stressful
And
it is,
relaxing,
and
yeah.
relaxing. It's all of those things. Sure, you watch people baking something and you're like, oh, I hope it works out for them. I hope it doesn't break. But it's not like cut where like something's gonna, there's a commercial and there's dramatic music and it's like, oh my God, what am I gonna do?
See,
And
it's
then they come
funny
back from the
because,
commercial and everything's fine.
So
So we'll see.
that actor, at least
April
in this-
11th, by
in
the way,
this
people.
promotional photo for the Great American Baking Show, his glasses fit properly. So I guess that was a
character
creative. It was a creative
Acting.
choice.
Yes, he is not acting on this show. That's true. He's just being himself. So there you go. Paul
And
Hollywood's
that-
there. Prue's
and
there.
That other guy on the left in the green
Paul
shirt.
Hollywood.
Yeah, he's in the first season of Severance. He's
Oh, he looks like the guy that was killed or the guy that died from the
Yeah.
from
Petey.
Petey.
reintegration. You're right.
Yeah.
Here's Mom Brain's picture,
That's
by the way. if
Helly
you
on the
wanna see it.
right.
Mom Brain hang out
Well,
with
that's-
Miss Piggy.
So when I first saw this promotional photo, she's in the blue, and I was like, are they going for a Helly R situation here with this? Because she's in all blue.
No,
So
no, guys, they're not. But
And-
anyway,
and
April
the-
11th, as I
The
said,
woman
the
in
Roku
the middle
channel.
there, that's actually John Turturro.
I wrote about that.
J Toots.
So that's what I wrote about on Patreon, people. Lots of fun stuff, and you'll get to hear more about it in the What We Played section. But it's enough of Patreon section. It's time for news section. This guy's on, finally. What do we got in the news? Let me tell you. All aboard, everybody. We got new news for you. You might remember a while ago we talked about how the Switch 2 supposedly is going to use Nvidia's DLSS upscaling technology, which employs AI to offer higher resolutions in games. I will explain this once again since it's been a while. For example, let's say you have a 4K texture. That could be a big texture, 60 gigs. But if you have a 1080p version of a texture, that's much smaller. That could be like 20 gigs. Using DLSS technology and AI for upscaling, you could upscale that 1080p image to roughly 4K, but then and that's done in real time, but you keep the lower storage or file size. So your games don't need to be as big, but you can still get a much improved visual experience. So we heard the rumors of that a while ago, and it seems legit. Well, here's the latest bit on that. Another patent popped up from Nintendo, and this patent directly
Is
talks
this patent
about.
pending?
It's officially a patent. It is not pending. It is published.
Your face. You were so proud of that.
AI. This uses AI upscaling, just as I talked about. So, example, it could take a 540p image and upscale it to 1080p if you're playing in handheld mode. This patent specifically refers to portable mode play. This obviously wouldn't be on the Switch. This would be on Switch 2. So the Switch 2, we believe, will have a 1080p display, not a 4K display or 1440p or whatever. But that way, on the Switch right now, you have dynamic resolutions, and you can see it happening. There'll be resolutions that aren't as sharp. It's not as noticeable on portable or in portable mode, but you can still see. Some images will be 540p going all the way up to 1080p. But now with this AI upscaling, you would see something very close to a 1080p image. You might not be able to notice the difference unless you had a very trained eye for that kind of stuff. So the average player would never notice. They'd just be like, it's 1080p. That's it. You need somebody like Digital Foundry to do a test and be like, here's where AI is being used and here's where it shifts and all that stuff. So you get the benefit of not using as much storage space, which also lets it's done in real time and everything runs smoother and blah, 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 blah. It's a win-win
I understand.
all around. So there you go. And it's not like this is AI that's copying somebody's work or anything like that. An artist makes the 1080p image and an AI interprets that as to how it might look in 4K, just a higher resolution.
Would it be wild if like they just sold games that were, just like one line of code and like the entire game is just AI generated as you go?
Oh, that's what Grok's doing right now. Grok's making games right now.
Who's Grok?
Who's that football player that's everywhere?
That's what I thought, right?
That's Gronk.
Oh,
Is Grok related to
is
Bonk?
Twitter
Never
or
mind.
X's AI thing.
Oh.
And it's
Can we
it's
just call
like
it Twitter?
ChatGPT.
Let's
It's
just take it back.
sure. It's Twitter's ChatGPT thing. Grok.
that's
from
the one-
The Emperor's New Groove, played by Putty.
I never saw it, so I don't know.
Is that really it? Why?
No.
That's interesting.
I
Listen
think
to this,
so.
man. Listen
I
to
think
this.
so, but you could listen to the guy who reports on the stuff.
I
if
don't
you
I don't
want.
report on Twitter, so I listen to him. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I haven't seen the movie either, so don't listen to me at all. I don't know. I believe him.
Putty's great.
Oh, everybody loves Putty.
I was for a second gonna try and do an impression of him, and I was like, no,
Oh, no.
don't even
That
try.
would've been great.
Don't even try. So
I mean,
yeah.
he even can't do an impression of himself at this point. I don't think he showed up at Disney because he's he's like the
Plays
video
Gronk.
thing. No, he does the well, yes,
I don't know what the name
Putty
is.
is playing Gronk in a football related movie. It's
he's
true.
acting in
The Emperor's New Groove live action.
no the intro to Soren. Like he gives you the whole rundown of like this is what's going to happen when you go through this thing, and so he showed up for like an anniversary like a year ago or something, and he just doesn't seem like the same guy anymore.
I wish everybody saw that because that's just amazing. A very quiet dude looked at me and said, Gronk, and gave
I
a
said Kronk because I
Oh,
saw
Kronk.
because Solid Master Link corrected and said that his name, the character's name from Emperor's New Groove,
Oh, and
is
so
Kronk.
Dew said Kronk and looked at me and gave a very small thumbs up, and it was amazing. So we have Grok, the AI bot. We have Gronk, the football player, and we have Kronk from the Emperor's New Groove.
That's right.
Do we have any other things that can fit in here? that new game or that old game from the PlayStation is coming to the Switch soon called Croc. Kind of close. There's Gronk.
Schrock.
Shrock. There's Shrock, the parrot on TikTok. Shrock.
That's God. That's good.
Crunk versus Croc.
And Putty also voiced a character named Brock.
You're right, Brock Sampson. This is like when I submit movies for your consideration. This would be our for your consideration moment. This whole conversation right now. So there you go. Yes, Grok was creating games based on one-line prompt.
I understand.
That has nothing to do with this AI thing that is Switch 2 related. But there you go. AI Switch 2, higher resolutions, blah, blah, blah. Let's get to the news that Dude cares about. Lego and Pokemon Company have finally announced an official partnership. So you might know that there's plenty of Pokemon figurines and block figures out there, but they do lots of partnerships with Nanoblock and other companies. Not Lego, but Lego and Pokemon Company are finally partnering up for a multi-year partnership. You're going to see the first of it in 2026. They did a very quick teaser that looks like a Lego Pikachu, but this is years worth of products. So Lego and Pokemon Company together at last, and we will obviously share the news on whatever they reveal as the years roll on. But obviously a very fruitful partnership for Lego and Nintendo for all the Mario products and Animal Crossing products that they've released so far, and a new Mario Kart product is on the way. But in 2026 we will see the era of Pokemon and Lego, and I'm sure that it's going to be a major hit.
So I was
there
at
you
a
go.
Lego store a couple of days ago, and I saw some of the Mario Kart things that they had. And I don't remember seeing Mario Kart. I should have taken a photo, but I figured, I figured it's not anything. But now that we're talking about it, you just mentioned something.
One day we'll find out.
One of the designs had like two giant kind of engines like on the front of the vehicle, and I was like, I don't think I've ever seen
It's a
that.
pod racer.
No, it was it was Luigi driving it.
Okay.
And I was just thinking to myself, like,
One
it would be
engine for
interesting
each
if they
brother.
kind of accidentally put these things out here and they're actual designs for the Switch 2 Mario Kart game that we saw in the trailer.
Well, now I gotta look it up because I mean,
How about you
no,
talk and I'll
but
look it up?
because every time I ask you to look it up, you go no. So yes, please look it up. So yeah, we'll bring you the news on that when it becomes available. Zelda Dude, who has the most upvoted comments, says Lego kits for all 1,000 plus Pokemon. Gotta build them all. That would be insanity if they did that. And you can bet that Lego's like, man, we could do a Lego release for every Pokemon. I don't think they're gonna do that, but who knows? I apologize. We're not done with the Pokemon news yet, but we're almost done. Yeah, this is the last Pokemon related one. It's okay.
People need to know this stuff. People need to know.
Well, see, this one has flames coming out the back. Did we ever see that before?
Yeah.
And this was Donkey Kong. I don't remember seeing that one. He's got a little scooper on the front.
Yeah.
And then this one, it's Baby Ouija. He's got like two giant engine blocks or something, or just one engine block. I just don't remember seeing that specific design.
I mean, there's designs that look roughly like that, I would say, but I'm sure there's some things that are a little bit different. Sure, but yeah, Nintendo's not going to be like, "Hey, Lego, tease the new Mario Kart game and your Lego stuff." Nintendo would be like, "Don't you dare!"
I know, but sometimes things happen by accident.
Like Lego does it, and Nintendo's like, "That's not a bad idea."
Well, other retailers put things on shelves ahead of time, accidentally.
I got great news for you. We're not doing that story. You're all right. Well, we are doing this. Josh, I think I hear something. Josh, do you hear that?
No.
I don't care about you, Nicky. I care about Josh.
I don't think Josh hears it.
Josh, think. Go
Think
deep
real
in that
hard, man. Come
circuitry,
on.
that programming. It's one of your favorite things.
Shut up. I don't care.
Oh, all right. Well, we'll go on if you just want us to.
I would love to know what you're talking about.
Ask Josh.
Hey, Josh.
Is this thing on?
Well, Josh, if you feel like joining us, you can, but I'll go on. We have the
Hey, be quiet. I think I hear something.
You're not right, Josh.
Josh, we gave you a firmware update, buddy.
You're wrong, Josh.
Defaulting to his
Yeah, that's-
previous firmware.
I don't know how you even spell that.
What is it? I don't care what you think. It's Josh. You got nothing to do with this.
Wouldn't you like to know?
I do want to know, Josh.
Yes, it's not MPD anymore. It's
It's
Circana.
Circana, Josh.
We have February 2025's numbers. So
Should be a different color, right? The new.
I think so.
That is stupid.
All right. Well, Nicky Hill, if you could, we'll let Josh do his thing. Nicky Hill, we need our millionaire music.
Circana. Oh.
And all right, everybody, listen. We're going to do this again as we usually do. United States, all systems.
United States.
And we're talking about February 2025. And as I always say, remember, Nintendo games on this chart include physical numbers only, not digital. Top 20 February United States all systems.
I totally missed.
I'll take that music.
Top United States systems?
No,
No,
not at all.
no.
Kirby, we're going to let you go first.
Oh wait, we're talking about games, right? Okay. Was there an NBA 2K?
Is that your guess?
Yeah.
There is number 5, NBA 2K25. Do
Call of Duty, bro.
Call of Duty, bro. Number 6, yes, Nicky Hill.
I don't know what I'm guessing right now because I was
Games, the United States, February.
Madden.
Madden, the man says. Yes, number 10. Kirby, back to you.
Oh boy. Pokemon.
Pokemon. And I'm so
Oh,
sorry,
no.
Kirby, you're out. Do
Would Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 be on there by any chance?
Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is here. It debuted at number 2. Congratulations.
I feel quite hungry.
Grand Theft Auto.
Nicky Hill. Grand Theft Auto. Yes, number 9. Do back to you.
Mario Kart.
Mario Kart, the man says. I'm so sorry.
Oh,
no.
no.
So, Nicky Hill, you can clinch the victory with this guess. Any other game in the United States top 20 for February?
Yeah, the football club game.
You're
What's
going
it?
EAFC.
EAFC.
That is number 12. Nicky Hill does it. I don't know what we're doing.
Woo!
United States consoles.
He's a
He won it.
hustler.
He won it. Here's your top 20 starting with number 20. Astrobot, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, E-Ring Elden R,
course.
Helldivers 2, EA Sports College Football, Hogwarts Legacy, H-Warts whatever.
H-Warts.
H-Warts L.
H-Warts L.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know everyone else got H-Warts. I have them.
Rat Hat Redemption 2, Spider-Man 2, EA Sports FC 25, Minecraft, Madden, Grand Theft Auto 5, Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii,
Like a dragon.
Avowed,
Woo!
Call of Duty, NBA, PGA Tour 2K25, Civ 7, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and finally number 1, Monster Hunter Wilds.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
That's a good one, too.
Man,
Man, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 was number 2, huh?
debuted at number 2,
It's in the-
and
it's in
Monster
the
Hunter
title.
debuted at number 1. A very good month for both of those. Systems. What do we got here? PS5 is number 1 in terms of units sold and dollars sold. Xbox was number 2 in terms of units sold and dollars sold. Switch is usually number 2. Switch was number 3 in terms of units and dollars sold. The reason why Xbox was number 2 both times this month or in February is because the 1-2 punch of Monster Hunter Wilds and Kingdom Come Deliverance, of course. And then your top 10 for Switch specifically, starting with number 10, Super Mario Brothers Wonder, H-Warts L, Pokemon Scarlet Violet, Minecraft, Just Dance 2025, Yu-Gi-Oh! Early Days Collection, Civ 7, Donkey Kong Country Returns, Super Mario Party Jamboree, and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. There you go.
Radical Defects making a good point. RMC, you forgot to do masturbators unless I missed it.
Oh, we don't have any. That's why I forgot.
Oh.
None this week. Not one that I was happy with. There was one that was kind of, but not one that I was happy with. So no masturbators. I'm so sorry.
Is it possible that we've given them enough
No,
of a ribbing that they've straightened up their act?
they're saving up their big guns for April 2nd. That the weeks after that are going to be nothing but clickbait. Sticer says NPD, NPD, NPD. Is that what I sound like? Well, today it was Sticer, so that worked
I don't
out.
know where Circana is here.
I don't. What does it matter if
Is
you
it
know?
just called NPD or is it called Circana? Or?
I don't even. How do you spell Circana?
Starts with a C. Just go. Well, I just let Josh look through everything that he has for it, and I would imagine it would be at the bottom of what Josh has
I
because
thought
it's the
his-
latest firmware update.
I thought his latest update was a different color. Like
NPD is out and Circana is in.
Josh found it. Josh, what's that file named?
NPD is
Josh, what's the Nicky Hill? Could you read that file name from Josh for me?
NPD is
Just NPD out.
Oh, that's the file name?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing about Circana. Josh, I understand if you're having a hard time with this. It's confusing.
He only
Sure,
today.
whatever.
Moving on. I'm gonna, you know what?
I'm the
I'm gonna
star of the show.
You are still. The
I'm gonna leave
star
that
of
one
the
until
show.
later because I'm very proud of that one. Everybody at this table, you know what? You have a history with baseball,
Did
at
you
least
find
somewhat.
that one? Yeah.
Me, not this one I'm about to do. Another one
Oh,
I'm doing. Yeah. Yes, you have you've watched baseball in the past. I'd say you were at least somewhat a baseball fan for a while.
yeah, grew up a kind of a baseball fan, and I respect the history of baseball, America's favorite pastime. Don't
There you
really
go.
watch regularly.
I thought
but
that was Wheel of Fortune, but all right.
it was until the host stopped wearing ties.
That's got to be an after show discussion. I love it. So baseball related, as Nintendo diehard fans might know, Nintendo was the owner of the Seattle Mariners for a long time, and then they
did not
sold
know
it
that.
off. But they're still a minor investor. I don't know what it's called, but Nintendo still has ties to the Seattle Mariners. Nintendo announced that they're working with the Seattle Mariners, and the Mariners home and away jerseys will both have Nintendo advertising on them, and they have pictures of what they have. Their home jerseys, I believe, have a red Nintendo logo on the shoulder, and their away jerseys have a red big Nintendo Switch 2 logo.
Oh, wow,
on the
look at that.
shoulder.
The Nintendo Switch 2 one is like, it seems too big, in my opinion.
Well,
really
I've
big.
got great news for you guys. You can go on Twitter and complain about that all you want because all the sports fans there are very upset.
Can you get can you buy one of the jerseys with the patch on it? They
That
probably
is knowledge I do not have. I don't know enough
'Cause
about
that-
baseball to tell you.
that's like a jersey I would consider just because
Right?
of the Switch 2 logo. I
The
think
Switch
it's so
2
cool.
one?
I would like.
Like,
if
I
you-
like the Nintendo one.
I mean, I think it's ridiculous, but I'm not going to be playing the game. I'm going to be wearing it.
I wish you
for the
could-
Nintendo bit, not because I don't even like the Mariners.
I wish you could get the home jersey with the Switch 2 patch. I
Yeah,
like those two
I like
together.
the home jersey better myself.
Yes, but yeah, I don't know. Obviously they sell jerseys. You must be able to buy the
I
current.
can't wait
jersey
till
with
they
the
start
patch on it, right?
playing. And when they're doing away games with that giant Nintendo Switch 2 patch, that they're like, they can't control the ball as well when they're throwing it and stuff.
I'm sure
because
some
it just
guy
looks
will
like
do a study about that.
it's, yeah, man, look at that thing.
Are they going to
Oh,
throw? Maybe
God.
it's
you know,
gonna
when I was
confuse the pitcher and it'll be like a target.
well,
It
you guys
is.
are jokingly making statements
Look
that
how
people
big that is.
on the internet are
really
seriously saying,
making-
yes, this is a very big point of contention for baseball fans. A lot of them are very upset about this, saying it's too big and the
Now,
color is too distracting.
I'm kind of out of the loop. Do other teams advertise in Major
Yes.
League Baseball on their
Yes, it
jerseys?
is. I read through this story that patches are allowed on MLB, so it's whatever partnerships come up, they can do patches. Other sports, I don't know for sure. I can tell you football does not allow it. That I know for certain, but baseball does. So other jerseys, I'm sure, have had and will have
think
patches,
I've
whether
seen
they are
them.
as big or as small or as vibrant colors as red. I don't know, but yes, people are very angry. about
Is
it.
the anger? I mean, I'm sure the anger is about
It's
everything
too
and
big?
anything.
It's too colorful.
So it's not necessarily it's Nintendo.
I'm sure there's some of that, but that's not what I was seeing from
'Cause-
sports fans. They were talking about How? Just make
No,
the whole
it's just a
jersey
giant
the
patch.
Nintendo Switch logo, and then have a little Seattle Mariners patch on the side. Like they're all very angry.
Very
about it.
funny.
Not they are all. The internet at
Right,
large, when I
sure.
waded into somewhere I've never been, sports discussion is
See,
very angry about this
I
patch.
could see like, look, I do have a favorite team, the Yankees, but they're not like, I'm not obsessed or anything. But if if they had a Nintendo patch, I'd think it was awesome, obviously. But if they had something like a business that I hate, like if they had like I don't know, a Tesla patch or a Trump patch or something, like a Trump Industries patch, I'd be like, well, I could see getting upset about the company that's on the patch.
Yes, because
But,
you're coming from a place of like,
But I'm also not a super fan of the team. Like if I was like a super fan of the team, maybe I wouldn't want any patch at all. Nintendo, obviously, I'd be cool with because I'm a fanboy of them. But I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, any sport, I don't get like, I don't care if wrestlers have like Brock Lesnar had patch. I don't like Brock Lesnar anymore after all the stuff, but Brock Lesnar on his trunks had ads for like Jimmy John's and other stuff. Like I never was like, look at how ugly. Like I don't care. I don't care. I don't understand why people care. I'm not saying you don't have a right to care. Care about whatever you want. I don't understand the anger in people for why it's there. Like, I don't think it hinders anybody's ability to play the game. Sure, you might think it's ugly and you could say, I think that's ugly. That's fine, whatever. But to be like enraged and
There's
say, like,
something
this is
about
crazy insanity and
So
whatever.
this is the stupid thing for me. If you were to
Thing
split
is-
that patch into two and stack them one on top of the other, I feel like I'd be fine with that. But the fact that it's that big as one patch seems just like so much. It's just a lot of patch.
This is when
I don't really care,
putting
honestly.
together this
but
post,
like,
I was like, I never knew that people were going to be like enraged by the
I
size of a
I
patch.
really don't care. I just think like that is a big like that's a whole just do this like
It's very big
then just make the whole
and it's very
sleeve.
red.
Why not? Why can't they do that? Like change that fabric from that portion of the sleeve and just make it like a red sleeve with the writing on it. That seems to me like a sensible thing. But
I don't believe that's allowed. I believe you do patches. That is allowed. You cannot alter a jersey where that like the branding is actually a part of the jersey. It has to be a patch that is on the jersey. That's my understanding. But really, I don't have a dog in any part of this fight. I don't give one crap about any of this. Put ads all over whatever anybody wears. I don't give a crap. I want the baseball guy to play baseball well. That's like if I'm a baseball fan, that's what I care about. Get the guy out there that can hit the ball or run the bases.
I don't
and
give
not
a
like
crap about this crap. I give a
get
crap
off
about the crap
field,
I
you
want
bum.
to give a
Get
crap
that
about.
patch off your shoulder. Like I want to. Oh, I almost
I
said
don't-
something really bad. I
Again,
don't want to be
I
a
don't
part of
think-
this world.
I'm
is
not
what long
angry
story
at
short.
the patch or the company or whatever. I just think it looks big. I think it looks a little like it just seems.
It's a big patch.
It's a big patch.
It's
I
a
want to
big patch.
see
One day. I
what
hope the
other
world can
advertising's
heal,
been
but
done.
It'll get noticed.
Yeah.
think.
Look
I
at how
mean,
much we're
you can
look
see
at how
it
much
from the
people are complaining
nosebleeds.
about it.
And it's kind of smart to make it the away.
You can see it
team
from the blimp
one.
flying over the stadium.
You
It's
would
Christmas.
make
You could steal City Hall.
You would make such a good internet troll. Except they're not trolling; they mean it. But you could get there. You could get there.
Just
First,
takes practice.
Joe Shabadoo says, "Well, I don't think the red against their uniforms is aesthetically pleasing, and I don't like baseball uniforms getting logos like soccer teams. This makes sense given Nintendo's 10% stake in the team. The gray would have looked better, but certainly wouldn't grab the eye in the same way. And Nintendo is very particular about usage of the gray Nintendo logo treatment. Very true. That's a very good point. So there you go. Go into the internet and complain all you want about it. Again, I need to stress this. If you think it's ugly, that is fine. If you're enraged by this patch, that is fine. I literally do not care. In terms of sports, I don't understand why you would be so enraged about it. I don't have to understand. I'm saying I would care about the abilities and performances of the athletes. That would be paramount for me, not what they wear. But again, I'm someone who wears weird stuff all the time and do not care. And oddly enough, this goes right back to the Ryan Seacrest thing. Talking about people wearing stuff and I never notice and don't care. Stick around for the after show because as long as you're cool, we'll talk about it. I think it's a fun conversation. If
I
you're
think
cool
it's
talking
fun
about it.
too. I think it's amazing that he could be butt naked up there and you would not care one
It's
bit.
like me
and
and
I
the
just
two.
think it's
like me and the two
insane.
houses thing. Yeah, I don't care.
And the
at all.
fact, like that two houses, don't even get me back on
Well,
that.
I mean, butt
That's
naked, I would
crazy.
care. Like butt naked would obviously be wild to see. Like Ryan,
You would
Seacrest-
at least notice the fact that you
Yes.
don't notice. Like the dude is,
yes.
he's got like
Save it. Make them listen to
Oh
the
my
after show.
God!
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
I think my problem with it, excuse me, chewing on ice when I shouldn't be. My problem with it, I think, is more just that it's like a giant square. If it had any other, like a little bit more contour to it or something,
So you're
I
like Joe
probably-
Shabadoo. It's not aesthetically pleasing to you.
I think it's, yeah, right. So like
So you're speaking about it as a patch fan.
could you imagine if the shape was a little rounded?
I don't care. I do not care. I can't stress enough that I do
I'm
not
just
care.
asking your
Ask,
opinion,
and you got to ask
whatever.
other. Yeah, I don't care. I don't care if it's square. I don't care if it's a circle. I don't care if it's a
Like
triangle.
if it was
I don't care.
shaped like the controllers or whatever, you know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And so then you had it like a little bit more like something tying it together a little bit. Right now it's just a big square and it doesn't.
I think I like it better how it is than it because it already has in the logo the controllers. I don't know. It might look weird if it were controller shaped.
Look at like
It's-
there's a lot of dead air there. There's
To
like
be
a lot
honest,
of dead
the
space.
size I don't think bothers me as much as just the color on the blue, like the red
Yeah.
on that light blue. Like first of all, that blue, that seafoam blue, is not my favorite. I get that they're Mariners, but come on.
In the Discord, Darmani says this is very tacky looking. Boo Nintendo. Blood Ocean says people love to hate on the internet because of being anonymous. That's literally it. Yes. Tony De La Mancha, hello, says I'm just sad that this is the final confirmation that this is the Switch 2 logo, very generic. Could have at least changed the logo to indicate new Joy-Con functionality. Again, this is my total blind spot because I used to hear this stuff and get enraged. I still get enraged, but I understand. I didn't realize how much in the minority I was with this stuff because it's like I've told the story a whole bunch of times. I went to go get the GameCube and they're like, sorry, we only have purple. And I wanted to yell at the man because I wanted to be like, well, what do I care? Well, why would anybody care? But clearly people very, very much care. And you're not wrong to care. You're not wrong.
Aesthetic people. We have eyes. We use them every day for everything. And you know, things can stand out for us as strange looking.
No,
if they're purple.
I get that. But like if I look at somebody wearing like, you know, let's say an article of clothing that I might think is strange, I'd be like, they're wearing something they like, and then that'd be it. Like I wouldn't be like, I wouldn't be like, man, why are they wearing this? What is this? It's just I've not built that way. I've never thought that way, and for a long time I didn't understand it. I understand now that I'm in the minority, and people thinking that way aren't wrong. It does upset me when people think that way, and then they base a decision on that, where it's like, oh, this person's wearing that kind of shirt, I would never talk to them. Then I'm like, you're an asshole. But if you're just like,
well, what if
I don't like the way that shirt looks? Then
what if there's a swastika on the shirt? You want to talk to that?
Well,
person?
yes, but the swastika stands for something horrible. It's like you're saying, like if they had a Trump patch on the logo, you'd be like, yeah, that represents a piece of garbage. I'm not going to talk to that person. But if it's just like, you know, Ryan Seacrest with an unbuttoned shirt, no tie, it's not.
I wish it was just unbuttoned. I mean, it wasn't buttoned at all. The guy's like, what is it? A porn star? I mean,
I can go on their YouTube.
And you didn't even know. He didn't even know. He's been watching it for weeks. He's been like salivating over this chest.
I didn't even know his chest was out. I'm too busy yelling at the people getting the answers wrong.
You're right. And I wish I was like that. Like, I wish I was less.
See, that's
aesthetic.
what it is. Like, it's with the GameCube and it's with Wheel of Fortune. I am here to play the game. I do not care what it looks like.
Well, that's the thing is like, maybe I like, for me, it works like being aesthetic. Yeah, I can be a jerk about Ryan Seacrest's like chest, but you know, I could also watch Severance and be like, I love the way that this is shot. This is really speaking to me. And then I'll talk to you and you'll be like, I didn't notice how it was shot, but I like the show.
Well, like I do notice that stuff, but it's again like special effects for me. Like episode 2 of the recent season of Severance was gorgeous shot from beginning to end. Like that, we've all talked about how amazing that episode was just to look at from a visual perspective. It was 100%, but that does not for me. Like that's a separate piece. Like if the story sucked, that's what's important to me. If the acting like didn't get the story to where it needed to be, that's what's important to me. but how it looks visually, sure, can heighten an experience for me, but I'm okay if it's not visually pleasing. Like it won't remove me from the experience, but that's not a right or wrong thing. That's just a me thing. So people looking at visual stimulation and saying, I hate this, I like this, I love it, and having it inform more things for them, that's not right or wrong. It's just the way people are. So that's the way it is. And for a long time, I didn't understand it. And I don't feel that way now. I understand that people are like that, but it still makes me sad in certain cases where I'm like, they look at this and they think it's ugly, or they see this name and they think it's silly. And then that is their point for not interacting with that thing. And that makes me sad. And that I won't ever fully understand, but I do recognize that it is a thing. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. It's a thing. So growth. That's all I got for you. No, we're not going to do that because this is really cool. This is a really awesome story. The Entertainment Software Association announced the Accessible Games Initiative, which they say is, quote, a cross-industry effort to provide consumers with clear information about the accessibility features available in video games.
Isn't Doge trying to take this out? I think they are.
Next week. So this was announced at the Game Developers Conference. So this is awesome. Accessibility features in games, and we're not just talking for people who have limitations in whatever their bodies can do. Yeah. Visual issues, physical issues, whatever it might be. We've seen lots of games add in a whole bunch of features to help people, from things like color blindness to, using or remapping buttons to whatever you are able to hit because of your disabilities or whatever, all that kinds of stuff. More developers nowadays than ever are taking that stuff really seriously and making gaming more inclusive to welcome those people and give them the options they need to be able to experience games in the ways that they can play them, which is cool. Naughty Dog has been a company for years that has done a really good job at that, and they've only gotten better. Microsoft has been up at the forefront with that stuff. Microsoft's been at the forefront with that stuff. They're doing a great job. So this brand new thing, the Accessible Games Initiative, was announced, and it's founded with 5 members: Electronic Arts, Google, Microsoft, Ubisoft, and Nintendo. Good for all those companies together. They are all working together to do this. This is awesome. Nintendo even put this on their front page of Nintendo.com and trumpeted this. This is a really cool thing to see, and it's bringing competitors together like Microsoft and Sony, or Microsoft and Nintendo, even though they work very well together now. But it's bringing companies together. That's awesome. That's what we need for games, for this kind of stuff. Universal coverage to let people know if you're playing a Nintendo game or an EA game or whatever. Accessibility features will be better displayed for those who need or want to see that stuff. Very cool. Nothing bad about this at all. I'm very proud to say, as a Nintendo fan, that Nintendo is part of this. Should have happened a very long time ago, but it is happening now. That's great. You can read more about it at accessiblegames.com. And they show you all the tags that games will have to let you know what accessibility features these games have.
Yeah, they need to. Cool Nintendo stuff. Needs to start with their friend codes. Make them one number instead of 100. You can only have 10 users. Or I guess 9. Well, I guess you could have a 0. 10 users.
Now I'm confused on that part.
Well, I mean, I guess we can do numbers and letters, so we could have 36.
Or, combinations of all of them. And you can have limitless. Hey, everything this...
Oh, I get it.
He's talking about 26 letters and 1 through 9.
I was just saying friend codes. I was making the age-old joke that friend codes are too long, and that in order to friend your friends as a disabled person, or a differently abled person, you could just type in 1 letter.
Mm-hmm.
Numbers.
Zeldude says...
Look, not all of them are going to be gold.
Zeldude says, this is good news. Nintendo has really been lacking in this area of accessibility options for their games and trail behind some of the other publishers and console makers in this respect. They do have baby mode in some games where characters can't take damage, for example, but they need to work accessibility options for input as well as visual accessibility options. They put baby mode in quotes. I just want to say.
I like big head mode myself.
Slappers only. Paintball mode. Okay, I won't hold out on this one anymore because we will always do sweet releases last. Okay, I've been following this Ruffy and the Riverside situation for a while now. Let me walk you through the whole thing. Ruffy and the Riverside looks like a really cool 3D platformer where you take textures in the game and collect them and throw those textures anywhere else in the game you want. So, for example, if you have a set of vines that let you climb something, you can collect the vine texture and plaster it on something else to climb up that thing.
Echoes of Wisdom ripoff. We get it.
Sure. Kind of. Sure. There's beds in that game. It's more enemies in Echoes of Wisdom, but sure. So Ruffy and the Riverside is coming to Switch and Switch 2. That is officially confirmed by the developer.
Ruffy confirmed this himself?
Zocrates Laboratories. Ruffy has not, but the developer of Ruffy, yes. The game is what did they say? Q1 2025 the game was coming out, but that's not happening anymore. Now they specifically said June 26th, 2025. And I got the press release. They sent me the press release, and there's a specific blurb in the press release that I read, and I'm like, this is very interesting. I'm going to read it to you word for word. Quote, the hand-drawn 3D platformer is jumping onto Nintendo Switches. It says Nintendo Switch and then in parentheses ES, so Switch 1 and Switch 2. It's jumping onto Nintendo Switches on June 26th, 2025. So we got that brand new date. Goes on to say, quote, originally scheduled for a Q1 release using Ruffy's magical swap, the release date was changed to June 26th to ensure a simultaneous release on all platforms and to make this the best possible game it can be.
What does that mean, huh?
That to me means at the latest, the Switch 2 will be out by June 26th.
I also, this is when I read this, I thought to myself, in the 11th hour, Nintendo is going to change the name from Switch 2 to Switch ES in parentheses. They're going the old Xbox route, and they're just going to try
really go back to that
random
Wii U
letters.
era naming and screw people up.
Switch ES.
So I don't know any other way to read that. It is so definitively worded in a way that still skirts ruining the release date. Change it to June 26, 2025 to ensure a simultaneous release on all platforms and make this the best possible game it could be. So they were originally thinking Q1. They're planning on bringing it to Switch 2. They're like, it's not going to be out then. I don't know what information they're privy to as far as Switch 2 release date, but they feel confident enough in moving the date to June 26th to have the game come out on all platforms.
It doesn't even seem subtle at that point. Like, it just seems like they said something they shouldn't have.
Well, that's the thing, because the date could be anywhere in between April 2nd and June 26th. If this is true, they're just saying they're going to put their game at June 26th to ensure it's available on all platforms at the same time. Doesn't mean the Switch is coming out June 26th, but it'll mean the Switch is Switch 2. It will mean it will either be out or will be out by that date.
Well, that's what I mean. Like,
so if that doesn't happen, then I'm going to be like, what the fart were you doing with your press release? Because this makes no sense.
And smoke and mirrors.
We know that the Switch 2 is already done, right? It's waiting in warehouses, right?
Well, according to the shipping documentation, not confirmed by Nintendo, but yes, there's at least 400,000 units of the Switch 2 in the United States in shipping containers and warehouses and stuff like that. So that's our understanding from what was looked up through shipping documents and all that. Again, not confirmed by Nintendo, but I would say as close to confirmed as you can get, which is where we've been with the Switch 2 for a long time. Stuff leaks. It looks very legitimate. We say not confirmed by Nintendo, but certainly looks legitimate. And then Nintendo confirms it. So
man, we need to find these shipping containers.
By June 26th, we will find. Listen, if the system's not out by then, I'm going to go on a rant about this company. But for now, you'll remain in my good graces. King Broly says, I doubt they know when it's releasing. Well, King Broly, we'll find out. I'm not willing to take that bet because I don't know what's going on here, but it certainly seems like they're hinting at they know something.
Ruffy better know his stuff. Otherwise, he's getting the boot.
Unless Nintendo's paying them to misdirect.
Nicky Hill is joking?
Yes.
Okay. Just make it sure.
Ruffy in the Riverside, he better hope he's right. Otherwise, he'll be sleeping with the fishes in the river. We're going to get rough with Ruffy. You know what I'm talking about?
You got the applause buttons over there. Oh, okay. I'll take that.
I'll take it.
That works. All right, Nicky Hill. It is that time. Sorry to do this to you, but it's time for North American releases. We got there.
Do I do something for that?
You do.
Is there an
Thank
intro?
you.
There's no intro.
Here's what's out in North America right now or coming in the next couple days. I'm supposed to say this. Atelier Yumiya, the Alchemist of Memories and the Envision Land, the latest in the Atelier franchise, which has exploded in popularity on the Switch. This
That
is
is
a
a
brand new
long
installment.
title.
I've just been writing Atelier Yumiya, but that's the whole title. The game is out. I will give it its respect.
I meant all the other stuff that you said was part of the same title.
And it's very
yes.
like Milchek. It's like a lot of big words.
There is a demo available as well, so if you'd like to try before you buy, you can. Gal Guardian Servants of the Dark, that's the new game from the Inti Creates team, which is a wonderful team if you love 2D platformers or 2D Metroidvanias. They are a killer team. They did Bloodstained, the 2D one of those. They did all those Mega Man Zero games. They did, Azure Striker Gunvolt, all that. They're a quality team. They're making a Metroidvania, Gal Guardian Servants of the Dark. It looks so good. Comes out March 26th. Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition. Out right now. Assault Suit Lenos 2 Saturn Tribute. That's a shmup that's been revamped for re-release. Azure Haven. Beach Girls 3, Zodiac Signs, Love and Horoscope Data. Beyond Hanwell, Nintendo Switch Edition. Boomerang of Destruction. Breakout Beyond.
Is Beyond Handwell a hentai game?
You're the correspondent. You tell me.
Just with that name, I feel like. There's no D. It's just Han.
That's right.
Well,
Chess Grandmaster, Ancient Egypt Battle. Cozy Meadow. Croctopia. Desktop Golf. Dog Spotting Challenge.
oh, there's one.
Toku Girls. Die the Bunny, DYE. The Egg Console MSX version of Goal Cave. Jumble Quest. Kill the Emoji. Lost and Found, Spot It Fast. Ludo Party. Masters Tennis. Meow Delivery, Fish Frenzy. Mind Clicker, Basecraft Building Game.
Mine clicker.
Odd Shape Out. P-Cross S. Doraemon and F Characters Edition. Doraemon, everybody knows, the robotic space time traveling cat without ears.
I thought you were doing my way of talking when you were like P-Cross S and F characters.
Nope. Actual title. Picture the Difference. Sand Legends. Swarm Madness. Tales of Autumn. The Exorcist Gravebound Horror. The Last Hero. Journey to the Unknown. United Assault, Final Stand, and finally, World Flag Master. Nico Darunia says, these releases do not carry the official Nicky Hill seal of sweetness. They do not, but I know who's do. Thank you. I appreciate that.
You did a great job.
Wow. That's nice of you.
I don't know.
I'm real proud of me.
What are the next European masterpieces? Let's find out with Nicky's sweet releases.
Thank you, Josh.
That was
That's
perfect.
very sweet of you. Europe. There's games that came out. They're coming out the week of March 20th, the year of our Lord, 2025.
It's a great way to say it. The games that came out and they're coming out because both are true.
Yeah.
Very good.
Thanks. I've been working on that.
That was great.
I don't know what I'm doing. Thank you. Yep.
You were there. You were done.
Get
You
out
said
your
it all.
wallets. Get out your credit cards. Get out your
Purses.
Switch eShop cards.
Get out your digital vouchers.
Get it all out. And
Get it all
get ready
out.
for these games. Let's go.
Wump.
Let's see what you're getting. Xenoblade Chronicles. Xenoblade Chronicles X. Is that 10? There's
Nope.
been 10 of these already?
Nope.
The definitive edition.
Is that a big deal? Is that why it's first?
It's first party. Come on, baby. It was trapped on the Wii U forever. People wanted this game to leave the Wii U. This is
that's all. I was just asking.
yeah,
No. I'm
Because
telling
it's
you.
not. It doesn't start with an A. That's
On
the only
Euro-
reason.
European releases are not always alphabetized for the start because
There you
they drop the big ones.
Yep, it's
Oh.
true. Yes, first party. Monolith Soft was trapped on the Wii U. Comes to the Switch now. Highly regarded as the best Xenoblade Chronicles game.
Oh man,
There you go.
that'd be one to start with then.
Yeah, since it's a spin-off. I mean, the other ones aren't like. I know you're joking and everything. But
I'm not. What am I talking
Xenoblade Chronicles X is I know it's not technically a spin-off, but it's like outside of the Xenoblade Chronicles franchise.
I care.
There's never mind. I'm not gonna say.
Aero Cosmos.
I care.
Artifact
Oh, this is Nintendo Jam.
Escape Room
I'm
Bundle.
It's my fault. The onus is on me. I should get in there and fix typos.
Oh, is it not? I thought it was cat. It was like a cat.
I can't imagine.
Artifact
It's
game. I thought-
Artifact.
All right. Well, you find out. Attack Hole.
Don't gotta tell me twice.
I got a defense hole, is what I got.
Aurora Light Pony. Ponies and horses in the Valley of Stars. Beyond Handwell, the Nintendo Switch edition. Boomerang of Destruction. Chess Grandmaster Ancient Egypt Battle. So did you
Ancient
find out,
Chinese
did you find
secret.
out-
It is incorrect.
So
This
it
is
is
a typo.
Artifact
Yes.
Escape Room Bundle.
That is not
Uh,
correct.
Clutter Reflexive. The Dice Man Cometh Collection Edition. Collector's Edition. Okay. Cubity Cube. Dark Receipt. We've talked about that. If you leave your receipt in the car on a hot day,
The joke good enough to do it twice
Black.
in a.
I just wanted to
in
clarify
a
for
row.
everybody. Yeah, you can't make your returns. I want everyone to know you can't make your returns if your receipt goes full dark, like or whatever. You know. So just keep
Yeah.
Guys, hopefully it's
Take
not
care
on
of your
next week's
receipts.
list either.
If you paid with a credit card, sometimes they can look it up without a receipt,
Sometimes.
but not always. So
Mhm.
just keep that in mind.
That's right.
These
That goes for
memberships
everyone
help.
listening as well.
Dog spotting challenge. Ooh, there's one.
Dalmatians
Die-
only.
Oh, got him, got him.
Thank you.
Die the bunny.
For your
DYE.
consideration.
The Egg Console MSX version
That's
of
German for the bunny.
Gulcade. Escape from Mistwood Mansion. Fast Food 2025 Simulator. Forest Ranger Life Simulator.
That's the only way you're going to be able to experience it. Actually,
Oh, that's right.
So,
That's right.
yeah, got to play the simulator, folks.
Well, no, this is Europe though,
Oh, he's right.
so they're gonna probably still have forests.
Do they have
and-
forests in Europe? Never been. They probably got some whimsical name.
They have a
for 'em.
black
Call 'em
forest.
Mounties over there. Don't
They're,
What are they-
I mean, they do have them, but you just got to be careful.
Come on,
with
Kirby, you're
fairies and
European.
stuff.
What do they call
And-
forests over there?
and-
Give me some magical European word.
I think they just call them forests.
the wood.
A Florhagen.
wood.
The wood,
yes.
the glen.
The Glen. That's what I was thinking.
Somebody find my hentai girl.
Is there more,
Sexy
Nicky?
Sakura. Yeah, I have a
always
marker on here. How to become a coffee master. Let's talk to Mom Rain about
holy
that.
Sabrina
cow.
Carpenter, apparently.
Hyper Mirror Run.
Hi.
Hiya.
It reminded me of
Happy,
Fletch when
yeah,
he puts his hand on the hot
Oh, yeah. On the end of the motor.
plane, and he's
Yeah.
like, "Hey!"
the plane that hasn't been running at all, so there's no reason for it to be hot either, right?
Yeah, I can't explain it, but he sells it well.
Hyper Mirror Run, Jumble Quest, Kill the Emoji, Niniku Neko.
No.
Nin
Nope. Nope.
Kinuk.
There you go.
Kinuk-
Starts with a K.
Nino
Kin-
Cooney.
That's what was in my head when I read it. Kiniku Neko.
Kuro
Kiniku Neko.
Kiniku Neko.
Kiniku Neko. Super Muscle Cat. Okay. Korean drone flying toward Hanem City.
Hanum Barbarum.
Hand him over.
Hannum barely knew him.
Lost and found, spotted fast. Ludo Party. MLB The Show 25.
Mm-hmm.
Odd Shape Out. Picture the Difference. Rosabala? Rosabala? Eternal Light and Magic and Harmony.
Every European rundown is like learning the English language as we go.
Oh, whatever.
That's why it's great.
Sometimes I play into it and you guys get all upset. Oh, is it over yet? S Prism Destroyer.
Is it over yet?
Sakura Heaven. Scrap Divers. Swarm Madness.
Sounds racist for some reason. I mean, scrap divers. Got a group of scrap divers over there, if you know what I mean. That's like a sci-fi,
Bunch
that's a
of
racist
trash
sci-fi
humpers.
term. Yeah, see? There, he gets it.
Oh,
Spoken like a real scrap
did you
diver
see
over
the
there.
guy on TikTok? He calls some guy a man. I
Lint
saved
licker.
it. No, something. A crumb bum.
Yeah.
You've never heard that term before?
No.
Oh,
What?
really? It's great.
You're
I,
kidding me. My brain would be shocked. Yeah,
yeah,
crumble.
it's a good one. All right, let's get through this, guys. We're only a quarter of the way through.
Not true.
Swarm Madness. Did I say that already? Tales of Autumn, just in time.
That's what I said when I posted about the game separately. That's what I said. I was like, perfect timing.
It's got is it autumn in some other place in the world?
Well, no, it's Tales of Autumn, so you can be in any other season and
Sure.
experience the tale.
So if you're in summer and you hate it, you're like, I got a story about autumn for you.
Okay. The Exorcist, Gravebound Horror.
Sorry, I just want to point out, RMC, the only person that would, out of 4 seasons, would pick summer and say he hates it. I'm just saying.
I like summer's my favorite.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought you didn't like.
I
summer.
hate fall because it's kind of cold. I hate winter because of the weather. I hate spring because it's still kind of cold.
Oh, okay. Well, then I take it back. I was thinking,
And I
summer you'd be outside, but it does.
Summer's my favorite
Just
because
warmer inside.
even though I'm not in school anymore, I still like that school's out, and I like it for Mom Brain. Obviously, summer's always been my favorite. But yes, you're right. Not going outside. It has nothing to do with outside.
That is a
Other
thing that
things.
has been worked into our heads. The fact of like summer vacation,
Yeah.
and it just makes adults miserable because, for the most part, they have to continue working. And they don't have that summer vacation
All
break.
$80.
And, Anyway, let's finish this list. Time Travel, Escape Room Game, United Assault, Final Stand, and Wine Factory Simulator.
Get all the Mariners fans there. Am I right? WHINE.
Oh yeah, you got them.
Whining about it.
Yeah,
But Nicky Hill was talking about wine, where glug glug, sweet berry wine.
Sweet berry wine.
Sweet berry wine.
Thanks, Nicky
Nico-
Hill. Is there a comment?
Nico Darunia left a comment, and they left the official Nicky Hill seal of sweetness. It's right there. Like that is the official seal.
Oh wow, look at
Yeah.
that. It's like a racing seal. I
Yeah.
like it. Thank you very much.
We got there.
We did it. We got there. And now,
Good
Nicky
job,
Hill,
everyone.
we will go here because you're to my right. What have you been playing this week?
I have to confess,
I've been playing
after-
something in secret.
No, I haven't been playing anything. But after the podcast last week, I went home, and the only thing that I played this past week
I know.
was
what it
I went
is.
back and I played Donkey Kong 94. Is that what it was?
It's not. Yes, you're right. Yeah.
The Game Boy version of Donkey Kong.
You got
it. Came
it.
out in 1994.
You got it.
I basically, after being told exactly how to defeat Donkey Kong, I got past that level that was giving me trouble. And then it opened up the whole new world.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't go back to play it
Don't you
more.
dare close your eyes.
But I understand now.
Your eyes have been open.
And I also said to Ramin, I've like the power-ups in this I've played, but like I've played this before and I don't know where, and I don't know if it was Donkey Kong, Mario vs. Donkey Kong. There was like a new version that came out or something. There's
Mario
something on
vs.
the
Donkey Kong, as I said
I-
to you originally, is very inspired by
something on
what
the
you're playing
DS.
without
Like,
a doubt.
or if I did play this version of the game, if it was on another system, I don't know if it came out on the DS. Or
I think it might have been on
something.
the 3DS.
If it did come out, I just don't remember that first section.
So all
Um,
that belly aching for a game you think you've already played.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I played it or I played something similar or whatever. Because like the power ups of like the arrows that give you like a ladder,
yes,
or you complete like a platform for a short period of time.
yes.
That all feels very familiar. Also collecting like the little bits of whatever. I don't even know what they are. One's a hat.
One's in a purse and
Like
one's
a
an
hat.
umbrella.
Oh, that's a
Or a
purse,
necklace.
an
One
umbrella.
is definitely a
There's
purse.
There's an umbrella.
Umbrella. Yeah.
An
Okay.
umbrella.
Parasol.
So
Bumper shoot.
So it's
Rocket
You know,
Burper.
maybe I'll go back to it, but I got through it and it all
Original
seems so
Donkey Kong
familiar,
has been
so.
completed. Now the real game begins, and you may go back to it. Congratulations on
So I
getting
did it.
past
I
that
gave
part.
it another shot.
You
and
did
got
it.
through it after being told what
traditional
to do.
save. Rewind.
I did a couple of rewinds later, like later.
Ah!
But my goodness, you finish a level, they give you a lot of lives.
You get
I
a lot of
noticed
chances
that.
for a lot of lives. Yes.
Oh, so you
very
played
much
it.
So.
We'll find out.
That's when Nintendo
shortly.
was feeling out the idea of maybe lives in games are silly
Yeah.
and we don't need them.
but we'll still make it
But
so
we'll
that
still
you
have
die and run down. But we'll give you so
well,
many
and that,
extra.
yeah, and then as
that-
time went on, they took them away.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's
Take 'em
all I
away,
played, and then I
toys.
played a little of that Q-less game, which is not digital at all.
I hate to be a little snoop, but did you not play
Oh.
any Clubhouse games this week?
Oh, I guess I did.
Ooh.
If that's what you saw.
Didn't want to tell us hide his shame of
Yeah.
solitaire.
Where's your camera so I know where to pull my pants down next time?
You don't have to worry about it. I've seen everything.
He's playing my favorite.
I guess I
game
did.
right now.
Yeah, I think maybe I needed to just pass a little bit of time, so I did one or two.
Like it's a multiplayer going on there.
Solitaires. So yeah, thank you, Deux, for keeping tabs on me.
Kirby, what are you been playing? What do you
Just
want to talk
what
about?
you love.
Well, speaking of games
Whip.
without lives or continues, just yesterday I finally started playing The Messenger.
Oh,
Oh, I just saw. Did you get it?
That is really funny because
Did you get it on sale? It was like $2 just this past week.
It was like $3.99 or something.
just
but
just yesterday or the day before? That game got a physical release through Limited Run Games, but their publishing deal is over. And Devolver Digital just this week put out their own physical version of it. You can get a physical
Oh.
copy with the DLC included for $30.
Wow.
So
What
if you
is it?
missed out the Limited
Physical
Run
copy
Games
for what
version,
system?
Switch.
NES. Oh,
no, that game wouldn't play on the NES.
but it
Not
is that
possible.
style. Right?
It's. I
could
don't want to
play
say
on the
anything.
SNES.
If it's still a secret to you, then I don't want to say
It
anything.
is.
Then you're playing it too. I won't say anything.
yeah, so this game's been on my
Lips are
wish list
sealed.
for a pretty long time
Did you
now.
say you beat it though, or you just started playing?
You
it?
just started.
No, I really haven't said anything about it because you're all talking over me. For the love of God.
He did say he just started it. He just bought it.
Yeah, I'm only about like 2 hours into it. I'm think the level's called Searing Crags.
Mm-hmm.
I had that problem this week too.
And I'm really, really enjoying it so far. I'm sure the game's going to get a lot more difficult, but I do appreciate the fact that it kind of eased me into it.
I'm very excited to talk to you about this later on.
Mhm.
'Cause you're gonna have a lot to say.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I do. I'm sure I had like the big twist in this game spoiled for me already. But, that's fine. Oh yeah, and yeah, it probably goes without saying the music in this game is fantastic. Every time someone's submitted music from this game for the music section, it's always like, wow, this yeah. So
I
this is
still
a
listen
banger.
to that soundtrack pretty regularly, and there's a YouTube version that is the 8 and 16-bit versions combined into one soundtrack. It's really cool. But yeah, great soundtrack.
Yeah, and I'm only like, I'm like I said, only 2 hours into the game, and there's already like so much great music.
Yeah, awesome composer. That same composer did Sea of Stars with them. That was their next game.
Oh, okay.
And Sea of Stars takes place in the Messenger universe.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, one of the islands that you visit is a whole stage in the Messenger. It's very
Nice.
cool. And there's a whole bunch of other stuff related, but I won't spoil any of it.
Yeah, I don't have a whole lot else to say about it. Yeah, the game's great so far. I wish I'd started playing it sooner, but
Got it for a great price, and I'm sure you will enjoy the whole thing. It's
yeah,
excellent game.
You guys know me. I always like, I like to wait for the deep discounts.
Smart
so,
way to do it. Now there's so much stuff that's out.
Yeah.
And like if you play like an RPG or something, that could be like 80, 100, 120 hours, and other stuff piles up while you're there. So now I'm like, it's on my backlog. I'll get it eventually. And if there is a major discount, then I'll hop on it. Why not? So I get it. You were ahead of the curve.
And that was pretty much it for me.
All right, dude, what have you been playing?
Unless Deux saw that you were playing something else.
Cuckoo. I didn't notice at all, or at least I wasn't on when you were on. But yeah, so I just like to start by saying I did not play Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 for once. So this is probably in 3 months. 3 months probably finally kicked the habit of that game. And it seems like it
He'll
was
be back next week.
Kingdom come, kingdom came, kingdom went.
I mean, it really came, and I really came while I was playing it. I loved it. I really loved it, as you guys know. So But it sounds like from what I've been reading, like I got the perfect time to like cut and run because the new patch that came out that people have been waiting for, while it did fix a bunch, apparently it like gummed up the works a lot.
I saw that.
But yeah, it's not my problem anymore. My Henry did everything he needed to do.
Kingdom gone.
And yeah, who am I kidding? I'll be back like when they come out with the hardcore mode or
You'll
whatever
be back.
next summer.
Oh, he's got a new haircut. It's like Smithers with Malibu Stacy.
Yeah, but he's got a new hat. Mine. Animal Crossing New Horizons, as usual. Fortnite's been good. And do we have any fun Fortnite stories this week?
The only fun stories we had from Fortnite were some of the insanely top-notch teams we were going up. There were games beginning to end where we were just being chased like a dog catcher goes after a dog. We just couldn't get away from people.
Yeah, some people are so good. And
I started getting with my cousin or with my family when we were playing too. Like last night I played with them and we had two games where it was insanity. And I was like, what's going on in Fortnite?
You
lately?
hit level 100, man.
That's it.
But yeah, we're really good. Not necessarily as like competitors, but like as if there's still one of us still alive, there's a great chance we're going to reboot
We
the
can get
team
stuff done.
and just like you're going to be killing us over and over. Like
Yeah.
we are like a cockroach
We are not
that will
staying
not.
down.
Yeah,
That's
we
right.
will not stay
If
down.
you don't kill all four of us, we are coming back.
Yeah. And that's actually like the fun for
I
us,
love it.
really.
You and I are on
Like,
the same page with that. Yep.
like we love that stuff. And like so many times we'll be driving around, and if it's us and like there's bad boys, we don't always, 9 times out of 10 we'd like drive away. We're not trying to pick fights.
Yes.
But like if we're playing with like other people that we play with, it's always like, oh, there's a team, let's go kill them. And it's
Every
like,
once in
it's
a
like
while.
this is what the
We
problem
saw-
is.
It was with you when we saw that guy on the motorcycle, right?
Yeah.
I see, like a guy on a motorcycle, you're out in the open. I'm like, oh, you're asking for it. Like I can't look away from that, especially when somebody's got a laser. I'm like, oh, light them up. We
Yeah,
gotta go.
right.
And then that ended up backfiring on us because like 3 other cars came in. But
Yeah, you never like it doesn't always, but like 9 times out of 10 will turn out bad for us if we get
it's
aggressive.
fun.
So when we play defensively,
Yes.
we stick it out. But
And when it comes to the end, we're very good about like our communication is always good, but at the end, we're like really good about communication. Like if it's us and like 2 other teams or 1 other team, like we're very good about saying where they are, what's going on, what exactly is happening. Like, and it's not like anybody's asking for anything. It just flows. We do a great job.
yeah,
We're the best.
it's a great squad we've got.
It is.
And then every once in a while, you'll get the game where we're talking about cereal the entire time, and we win, and we're like, wait, that was the last team? We didn't even we're literally talking
we have
about
2 states of
honeycomb or
flow,
something.
honing in at the end and talking game and it works out, or not pay attention to the game at all and it works out. And like you said, the cereal
Yeah.
conversation.
Talk about
took us to a
cereal and
victory.
how great it is
Yep.
to have some cheese
Talked
with
about,
it.
Yep, exactly. Pizza cereal. That's going to be a conversation, I'm sure, next time we play. So yeah, we go both ways. There's no middle ground for us. We're either all in on the end of the game, or we talk stupidity the whole time. So, yeah, good times. Always good times in Fortnite.
Yeah. So that's been
Fort with the
good.
boys.
And then I finished Hotline Miami 2, the sequel,
Oh, nice.
this week, and played it through again like I did with the first one. I mean, it's just it was really, really great. I don't know. I can't explain again why I played parts of Hotline Miami, over the years and never clicked with me. And then this time I just devoured it and like loved the story and everything that went with it. It was like it's got some pretty deep lore and it's really cool, and the music obviously is incredible and only gets better. So really loved my time with Hotline Miami and Hotline Miami 2. And yeah, it's so great, isn't it?
Hi, Rosemary the Farmer. Hello, Malik. Oh, I said that already. Hi, Mike Chronic.
So I played a little bit of the Donkey Kong Game Boy game. And I still feel the same way I do about Donkey Kong games. They're not really my bag, but I really appreciated once you got past that first original 4 levels, and then it literally did what you said, like opened up and became a totally, I don't want to say totally different experience, but just like a really unique, fun, new kind of twist on it. And So I thought it was really cool. Again, not my type of platformer or
It's a
puzzler.
puzzle platformer.
You know, like not really my type of thing, but but it's so well done, and like for being a game from 1994 on the Game Boy, like I thought that was like pretty cool. And there's like a lot of elements. Even in I only played maybe 5 stages into the second part of the game, but even in that little time that I played, you could see the influences
Goodbye, Blood Ocean.
that like were
Oh,
down the road, that
definitely.
were coming down the road through it. So I don't know, like really cool. I think if you have Nintendo Switch Online, no reason not to try it out.
Why not?
So it was cool to check it out. But man, I just don't know what it is with me and DK. I love DK as a character, but I don't know. I can't play the original Donkey Kongs like I don't enjoy them all that much. And then Donkey Kong Country, it's such a shame that it never clicked with me, because I
One day it
realize
might.
I realize it's great, but it's, I've never been like the biggest platformer guy. I like Mario, but I've never really, played Sonic 1 and 2. But does it go any further than that for me? I'm trying to think. So,
Mega Man.
I mean, that's not really a platformer,
It's
right?
a platformer,
yeah.
action platformer, but it's a platformer. But again, you went
I
2.
played Mega Man 2, Mega Man 9 or 8. So, yeah, I don't know. Like, there's little things here and there that I like. Neon White, is that a platformer?
It's a speedrunner first-person platformer.
Yeah.
It's as much a platformer as Mirror's Edge is. They're platformers, just not in the
I like Mirror's
side-scrolling
Edge
sense.
too, so I can't explain it. But yeah, I don't want him to go anywhere. Donkey Kong's a great guy, and his son Diddy is nice too, and
His friend.
got nothing against him.
His friend and son.
Mm-hmm.
So then after I finished
You're my friend and my son equally.
after I finished Hotline Miami, I was looking for something to play. I kind of wanted something in that realm that was like a little lo-fi kind of. I mean, that's not a way to describe it. Maybe,
yes, 100%. That is correct. Yes.
I tried to,
People usually call it crunchy.
Okay. All
But
right.
lo-fi is a term that's definitely used. That's not wrong.
Well, I was thinking about that. I couldn't really come up with anything. I tried playing a couple of hands of Balatro again, and like for some reason it wasn't clicking with me. I don't know why, because like that's a game that I sank so many hours into so fast, and I was like, well, I'll just play Balatro while I think of something. And it really wasn't. I was getting like crappy runs, and I was like, it's not. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. So I stopped doing that. And this is not crunchy, but I ended up going back to SteamWorld Dig 2 because I figured, first of all, it's been a while since I played it, but I was like, I want something that I don't really have to think about, that's like fun and addictive and colorful, and like, but I also don't have to think too hard about like what's happening. And yeah, like I've been playing that through, and it's really, really fun. I look at it. I came up with this term in my head while playing it. It's called a build your own Metroidvania, because you dig, and whatever you dig stays that way. So like you don't, certain areas you don't want to dig too much, because then you can't get back up. You know what I mean? Unless you find like a teleport machine. So it's cool. Like as you dig your little pathways through the game, when you go back, those pathways are still there, and it's like how you made it. But it's one of those games that's really addictive. It's fun to get treasure. The treasures are abundant. You get them quickly. There's nice little sounds that go with picking up the treasures, and then you sell the treasures. And like when you make the money, the sound for the money is great too. And you're constantly upgrading, like going back to your home base and upgrading. It's kind of like Hades, or like a game, like one of those roguelike games where you're constantly, every time you go in, you get better and better because you're upgrading and upgrading.
I think I don't know which one it was. It may have been SteamWorld 2.
Sorry, did I say 1? 2 is the one. Two's the one I'm playing.
But I'm just saying, it may have been 2 because of the time. But that addictive, like, money from gems and stuff, it was around the same time that I actually had more money in real life, and I was buying some crypto stuff because it was like, it felt so similar of like this robot money
terrible.
and I was just like, oh my god.
No.
Yeah, so I know I don't have money.
Well,
Don't buy real money things. Don't spend real money on robot money.
yeah, I don't know. It's got a lot of charm, and
SteamWorld dug myself into a hole.
Oh.
But yeah, it's got like elements of like a Dig Dug or like a Mario 2 when you're digging in the sand.
Name
like
a more satisfying dig animation than that game, man.
when you're Toad and you're digging
Plowing through it.
oh
Yep.
my god, it's the best.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's great fun. I'm enjoying it. The music's great. There's something just so wonderful about it. It makes me want to, every time I bring it up, you're always like, well, you should play, the other SteamWorld games, and I really should, but I'm a creature of replayability and not wanting to think sometimes, and because I've played it already, I really don't have to think about it, and I could just be there enjoying it.
But if you play the other ones, you'll have more to replay later.
Hey, I'm not against that
No,
at
I know,
all.
you
And
just
like,
said it.
and you know me, like it's the same way with shows. Like I've got a list of shows or movies that I want to watch, and I'll never get around to them because it's like, oh, this show has 4 seasons, and then say I start watching it and I love it, then it's like, boo, it's done in a second, and I'm like, I'm glad I watched it, so. It's all me and my whole thing. Like the rehearsal. I should have watched the rehearsal when it came out a year ago. I was so against it.
Message. He's like, oh, I just finished. Like, started watching. I was like, well, what episode are you on? He's like 2 or whatever. So I didn't want to say anything about any episodes. Later in the week, I was like, did you finish watching that?
I finished
it the same day.
I finished
yeah,
it
of
in one
course,
day.
of
I
course.
texted him and said, I just finished the first episode, and I realized this is how I looked, and maybe I should send the photo in the Discord, because I was wearing a hoodie, and I realized like I had the hoodie all over my face. I could just see out this much of my hoodie because it was like so cringy what I was watching, but I enjoyed it. And then the next day, Nicky Hill texted me and was like, "How's the rehearsal going?" And I was like, "It went well," because I finished it.
Can I can't click over. Can I put that up?
Yeah, you could put it in there. This is not a staged photo. Like I caught myself at the end of the first episode watching it like this.
Hi, Atomic Toaster. Good to see you.
I might not have it.
Well, I can always send it after I'm done speaking. I can't do 2 things at once. But yeah, so I enjoyed it. Thanks for listening to me prattle on about stuff that I've probably talked about playing already, because that's how I freaking roll. But it's my favorite part of the show is to talk about what we played, because it's fun. And RMC, what have you been playing?
Thank you for asking. What have I played? As same old song and dance as I've been saying. I don't remember that game, Red Souza. I'm just not in the mental space to play games like I used to. I'm slowly getting myself back there, but as I just said now, slowly. So I'm focusing more on narrative adventures and story-based games, because that's where my mind is at. So I played Wander Stop, and I finished Wander Stop. There's the picture. There's you. I finished Wander Stop, so not a long game by any means. I finished it in, I don't know, maybe 3 days altogether, and I just played a few hours each night. And sadly, it was not bad, but it was pretty disappointing in a sense that it did not reach the emotional heights or explore the emotional depths that I was hoping it would, because that initial trailer really, really got me intrigued in the game with the idea of trauma and pain and how it manifests, and I loved it. And those elements are in the game, but I just feel like the experience never really digs into them like I want to. Like there's characters and things that I'm interested in, and there's one like shocking twist in there. But in a story-based game, like I need, when the story is the focus, I really need that story to be gripping. And it's not that it's not interesting or intriguing. It's just, it's a little too even keeled. It's a little too one note. Like there are things I really wanted explored and ideas I really wanted to see the characters like maneuver through and like discuss and like struggle with. And it just wasn't there. The emotion that you see in that trailer literally gave me goosebumps, and I was like, I need to play this game when it comes out. And what you get in the actual game doesn't match that, and it's sad because the characters are really well written and very unique. A lot of diverse personalities and interesting ideas brought up, and a lot of back and forth discussions that are very enjoyable. But like the overall story, it wasn't there for me. It's not a bad game. It's just it's been a while where I've been this disappointed in a game, but it's not a bad game. It's just I really thought from that first trailer this was going to be something emotionally taxing, draining, explorative. Like I really thought it was going to do something, and it just didn't get to those places for me. And I posted about it on Patreon. I saw other people who played it and felt the same way. They were just upset that it didn't
What was that game?
get to the heights we wanted. I wish it
just
explored
played
more
something.
and more aggressively.
You played something recently where you were like loving it, and you got to like the very end. You were
It
like,
wasn't too
it was-
recently. Reverie, The Fall of Harmony,
I don't know.
where I loved the game until the last chapter, and
Yeah.
I was like, "Who wrote this last chapter?" Yes,
Yeah.
that sticks with me forever because that whole game all the way through was killing it, and that last chapter was like it was written by someone who had no idea what came before it, and it kills me.
We call that the Game of Thrones.
Yeah, right. It was, man, disappointed because if that ended well, that would be one of my favorite games. I'd be recommending that all the time, but I can't. It's like Game of Thrones. You're exactly right. I just can't. Great soundtrack though. Go listen to the soundtrack on its own. Great soundtrack and Wanderstop as well. Like I said, the guy who did the Minecraft soundtrack did this music, and he still got it, baby. He makes great music. Some stuff that gave me goosebumps while I was playing, and stuff where I just stood there and like listened because I was like, man. And then in this game in Wanderstop, the other main mechanic is you make tea. You have to make tea for people, but you have to grow the plants and combine plants and all that stuff.
Poison.
I'm not into management simulation kind of games, so I was very proud of myself for doing it. But I have, at least through this game, verified that I don't like that as a gameplay mechanic. I don't like you need to make tea. They want this kind of tea, so you got to grow this crop, and then you got to crossbreed, and then you got to do this, and then you got to combine these things in the.
Even
It's
in
not for me.
like Tears of the Kingdom
So,
or
I don't
Breath of
do
the
any of it.
Wild, you never made any food to like.
Nope.
Man,
In
sounds,
Unless
your
I
house, no
absolutely had to,
crafting.
I did not. No,
sounds like you didn't breed a golden chocobo when you played Final Fantasy VII either.
Did not. Nope.
Unbelievable.
If
Breed
unless I
with?
breed with.
Oh,
Oh, I
dear.
bred with them.
Oh,
yes.
dear.
Oh,
Unless you absolutely have to do it to get through something, then I will not do it. I have less than zero interest in it. It does not interest me. I do not find it fun. I find it laborious and boring. And that's how I found it here. I'm still willing to give it a try in other games. It's not a complete shut off for me, but like something like Stardew Valley, like I have no interest in any of that. I don't want to grow crops. I don't want to plant things. I don't want to take care of that stuff. I don't want to do any of it. So in Wanderstop, yeah, I got it done, and you do it the whole time because everybody needs tea, and it just makes me anxious and nervous because I'm like, I got to make sure I have this many seeds to plant this thing, and I can't. If I screw this up, then I won't have enough seeds to do this thing. Blah blah blah. Whatever. Not for me. But
so
neither here nor there.
at the end, did you end up wandering or stopping?
How about this? I wandered my way to the end, but I wanted to stop many times. Yeah, just that. Man, it really makes me sad that story did not. The trailer. I don't want to say the trailer is misleading because it's not, but the trailer just makes it look like this is gonna really be something that goes very deep and explores these ideas very on a very deep level, on a very like close up and uncomfortable way, and it doesn't. But there's important messages in the game, and there's heart there and everything, and like I said, well written characters. It wasn't for me. Very sad it wasn't, because that was near the top, if not at the top of my list, but didn't work out. But let's go to good things. Soul of Sovereignty, which I said I would talk about earlier. I've talked about this game before. It's a visual novel, and it's as straightforward a visual novel as you can get. You really don't make any choices. And in what I just played, there's like maybe 30 seconds where you make a few choices, but they don't really matter. So it's a pure visual novel. You all right over there?
Getting close.
Soul of Sovereignty. You can play the Prelude for free. It might include the first. It
You
probably
just got
doesn't.
the Prelude. Let me tell you.
So you can play a demo for free. It's the Prelude.
Oh, you're gonna have to demo the bathroom when I'm done.
And Chapter 1 came out at the time that the Prelude came out. And I bought the game. The game was $10, and the guy's working on it now. And he's like, when other chapters come out, you will get an email, and your game will be updated, and you'll get access to a new chapter. So I got an email, and I was like, Chapter 2, and I was purposefully not looking at the game because I loved it so much. I was like, I'm gonna drive myself insane wondering when this next chapter's coming out. I don't want to know. I'm going to pretend like the game doesn't exist, and it'll be a happy announcement. I don't want to know, I don't want to see the developer being like, I'm getting close or it's coming soon. So I purposefully did not read anything, got the email. I was like, oh, this is the greatest day ever. Sat down to play Chapter 2. It's about 3 hours. This farting game it's only the second chapter. Who knows? It could be a Game of Thrones situation and it sucks at the end. But where it stands now, this is toe-to-toe with 1000 Times Resist. It does not explore ideas like 1000 Times Resist does. Like it's not that kind of like it's not like I don't know how to say this without making one sound lesser than the other, but like Soul of Sovereignty is a story that you will not have to look at deeply to understand. There are complex things going on and complex emotions that are explored, but they're done so in a way that anybody could understand it. But that's not a knock against the game. The story, the writing, the characters, the adventure, the whole thing that's going on brings tears to my eyes. It is unbelievable. It's easily one of the best written games I've ever played. There's no voice acting. I wish it had voice acting just because I would love that, but it doesn't need it.
Played.
What else am I going to say? Read, experience.
Yeah.
It is, man, is it so good. And you guys know how much I love 1000 Times Resist. And that, I'll sing about that game until the day I die. And I don't think that game gets anywhere near the attention it deserves. This Soul of Sovereignty is like that, but like it makes 1000 Times Resist look like the most well-known, most talked about game ever. Like nobody knows about Soul of Sovereignty, and it's a shame. Toby Fox, the creator of Undertale and Deltarune, has composed some songs for this game, so he talks about it when a new chapter's out, and that's great recognition. But the vast majority of people who follow Toby Fox are following him to know more about Deltarune and Undertale, so they're not really looking to get a new game, but especially not a visual novel. So it makes me so upset because I know visual novels aren't for everybody, but boy, oh boy, does this need to be experienced. This third chapter,
it's very limited in the release too. Like again,
it's on PC and Mac.
Yeah, I don't have either. So
you got some kind of computer.
I have a Chromebook.
Yeah, I guess you couldn't play it there. It might be on Linux. I don't know. But yes, like more people have computers than they do game systems. Like there's 150 million Switches out there, but way more MacBooks than that.
But how many people have those computers and play games on? You know what I mean?
Like well, that's not my problem. I'm just saying, as far as what's out there, the greater reach would be computer than system. Yeah. But how many play games? You're right. Yes, a fraction certainly. But yes, PC or Mac. And it's a visual novel. You could have a Mac from decades ago and this thing would play on it. You don't need anything huge or powerful. I feel so powerful. So I loved the Prelude in Chapter 1. Chapter 2, I think, is even better. They introduced some new characters. The way the things this game explores, I don't know that I've ever been so enthralled with a story, like mystified by it, and like it makes I just feel the story. It's like, man, it's funny. As you guys know, I've started reading books. It was a New Year's resolution, so I've read a number of books, and there's been books that I really enjoyed.
Wait, how many have you read?
Probably about 7 or 8 now.
Oh wow! Since the beginning of the year?
Not this year. It was my New Year's resolution last year. I read like a chapter or two once a week. I read a chapter or two. I really like what's it?
Project.
Hail Mary.
Project Hail
Yeah.
Mary is my favorite book that I've read so far. But it's funny because if this were a book, this would be my favorite book, hands down. Like nothing would even be near it. But obviously, this experience is also heightened by some drop dead gorgeous artwork. I don't know what you call this style, but I want every piece of art in my house to look like this. I love this artwork. It does so much with so little, very limited use of colors. And it's like simple yet gorgeous drawings. Oh, it's beautiful to me. I love the use of color and just the stylistic drawings. I love it. And the soundtrack, partially made by Toby Fox, also made by the developer of the game, GGDG, whatever his name is, and another composer came in. They these three make some make some unbelievable music. If you have no intentions of ever playing this game, go listen to the soundtracks on Bandcamp for free. Soul of Sovereignty. Just look up the soundtracks. You can stream Chapter 1. You can stream Prelude, Chapter 1, and Chapter 2 soundtracks for free. It's gorgeous music. It's
Gorgeous.
everything about this is it's amazing. It's amazing. This is the kind of thing for those who love to read books and never played games ever and think they can't play games. I'd be like, well, here's a thing called visual novels, and you need to do this because I think you would be swept away by it. It's a world of. I'll give you a quick synopsis of it because I don't want to spoil just the idea, not what goes on in Chapter 2. It's about a guy who runs basically like a. It's a guy who's very knowledgeable about flowers. And like the things you can do with flowers. And some random woman
make tea.
comes into where he is. I'll just say wherever he is, and she is like
bathroom?
lost in a storm and she needs help. And she's in trouble, and the guy decides to help her out, and that's how it starts. And that doesn't even scratch the surface of what happens here. It's a story about religion and death and life and sickness and adventure and people and how they interact, and it's so good. And it's the same thing that happened with 1000 Times Resist happens with this game for me. It's that game where you play it and you're like, well, why even bother do anything else? Because I'm not going to watch or read or play anything that's going to measure up to this in any way, shape, or form. So it's a great thing to have happen and a bad thing to have happen. But, oh, man, it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. So, like I said, Prelude, play it for free. Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 are out. You can get the whole game for $10. No matter how many chapters come out, you will only pay that $10. Hi, Straight Jeff, and good to see you. Straight Jeff says, I used to read a webcomic by GGDG called Cucumber Quest. Never finished it, but it was a good story and it went on for a long time. I didn't even know about that. I'm going to have to look into that.
Wait a minute. DGGG.
GGDG.
GGGG. What did they just... Is this... Have you talked about this game already?
Well, I started off by saying I've talked about this game already, so yes.
Was there another game that GGG made?
Not
recently?
I'm sure this is their thing. I'm sure they have done something else.
Yeah.
Radical Defect says they made Cucumber Quest and so much good Kirby art.
I've seen some of their Kirby art. Yeah, you can follow them on Blue Sky and just follow their artwork, so you can see their artwork or their Tumblr for artwork.
I remember you talking about GGG. And then I probably Radical Defect then talking about Cucumber Quest as well.
Well, again, that's a webcomic, not a game.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna have to look into that. I'll gladly read anything else from them. But man, if you have a computer and you are interested in visual novels, check this out.
It's all computer.
Help a computer.
So good. And then something else I played, which has been on my list and fits the narrative spot where I'm in. I started MiSide, MISIDE, which has gotten all kinds of attention in recent months. Let me tell you what it's about.
Mimi wants a MiSide.
It's you're a guy who's playing a cell phone game. And it's like a little like.
Where is this available?
I'm playing it on PC. I think that's the only place it's available right now.
Man, this guy is forsaking consoles.
I was playing Soul of Sovereignty that's only on PC, and I had it hooked up to the TV downstairs. And I was like, well, it's already hooked up here, and I just finished chapter 2. I might as well play something else on PC. Then like I said, I'm doing narrative stuff. But anyway, me side, it's about this guy who's playing a little cell phone game, and it's like I don't want to call it virtual pet, but it's a virtual pet, but it's like a girl, like trapped, or not trapped. It's a girl in an apartment, and it's, you feed her, you buy her things, or whatever. And
He's in a
something
relationship.
kind of.
And you find out you're like a serial killer or something.
Something happens where you end up getting sucked into her game, but you don't know how this has happened. Like if something happens and like how you wind up in the game, but you don't know how it's possible. You're like, how the hell did this actually happen? And the girl in the game, is very happy you're there, and she just wants you to hang out and spend time with her. But you can tell something's a little off with her, and it's a horror game. Like it's not hidden, like something's off with this girl to begin with. And things happen, and you have to find your way out of the game. So if you're easily scared, I would suggest don't play this game because it's got jump scares and uncomfortable things, and it does some really cool stuff that is very freaky where you're like, oh man, this is a little uncomfortable.
What's it called again? Something?
MISIDE. So it's a really interesting idea. There's things going on with the story that I don't want to say because it's spoiler related, but it's a first person game. But it's it's like a walking simulator. You're not really there's little mini games in there that you play that are traditional games, but it's very much a walking simulator. You talk to characters and you're walking your way through environments and finding out how to get out through some very, very light puzzling. But very intriguing so far. Really enjoying it. Scratching my itch for a story game. I'm down with a horror game, so I like that. As I said, it's doing some freaky stuff where you wonder if your eyes are playing tricks on you or not. I'm playing with headphones in to fully immerse myself, so the audio is great because you hear things all around you and it makes you nervous and whatever. Really enjoying it. I'm about 2.5 hours in. I don't know how long the game is, but so far very intrigued. There's story stuff going on that I don't know how to explain it yet, but I'm down. Like I said, game's very highly reviewed, very highly praised by players and critics alike. It's only been out for a few months, but I'm down. Very excited to get back into it. So that's what I've been playing.
Cool.
And that's that. Now let's get
Busy week.
I know. Let's get to questions. Send your questions to GoNintPod@gmail.com.
Where?
GoNintPod@gmail.com.
Maybe I will.
It can be about Nintendo video games in general or whatever the hell you want. Autumnal Blake has a question. I recently got a MetaQuest 3S VR headset. It's certainly interesting. I was playing a game where you can drive a little boat around an ocean, and it made me want to see Wind Waker in VR. What game, Nintendo or otherwise, would you like to see in a VR adaptation? I don't want adaptations. I want new. I'm done. Who's got something?
How about like Metroid Dread? It would be 3D.
That'd be scary.
3D, 2D.
Yeah, I wouldn't like
Kingdom
that because
Come
I'd
Deliverance?
being
VR?
chased. Yeah, Kingdom Come Deliverance would be cool in VR.
I would love to run around in the Ori world.
It
Colors,
would be beautiful.
water.
Would be beautiful.
Like,
Oh yeah, that'd be nice.
You probably like that mouse game that's in VR. Moss.
Yeah, that looked nice.
You would probably like Moss. If you're thinking Ori, then Moss would be for you.
I don't remember what that is.
It's a little mouse, and it's like diorama puzzles that you have to help the mouse get through. But it has a cute, woodsy aesthetic like Ori does.
All right. Show me.
I'd
Show
be
me
happy
to me.
I'd be happy to, Rachel.
Show me to me, Rachel.
Any other games you guys would like to see in VR?
Well, we were talking about like first-person platforming games before. Do you think that would probably, I don't know, make for a good VR experience?
Mirror's Edge in VR.
Yeah,
I think that'd be a lot
Like
of
you
fun.
could probably like, yeah, because you like
Throw up.
see.
You like scared of
yes.
heights.
Like standing on the top of a building.
I
in
mean, you would
Mirror's
also
Edge and
probably
actually
throw up.
looking around.
Yeah, it might take some getting used to.
Yeah, I think that'd be a lot of fun. Yeah, I think that'd be an awesome.
And there's
idea.
a lot of like forward rolling in that too, so that might give you a headache.
You'd be puking.
You need to be on one of those.
Maybe take the
things.
rolling.
I think they'd probably take the rolling.
You need to be on one of those
Walking treadmill,
those treadmill things that are like
stationary treadmill.
360.
Yeah. Any others?
I mean, I've got answers, but to be honest, I'd rather just see updated versions of them. Like Eternal Darkness, I think would be cool in VR with all the weird stuff happening to you.
New
but
VR sanity effects.
But I just want, an updated version of that. Or like Parasite Eve would be cool, being in that opera house with all the weird monsters and stuff, and seeing everybody around you like spontaneously combust.
Square Enix talked about Parasite Eve not that long ago. Maybe they're doing something.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like VR was cool. I played a few things that you let me
VR.
play RMC, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it hasn't gotten
over,
the traction
Johnny.
that
It's
Mirror's
over,
needed.
Johnny.
Yeah, it's over,
Mirror's
Johnny.
Edge would kill me. Like just walking on that plank made me really uncomfortable, and I know I'm
Yeah,
only
then
on
I
a
think
piece
you'd
of
have
wood.
trouble.
You know, in your living room, or whatever. Like I know I'm not stories up.
You hear the sound, you see the visuals, the body is fooled.
That would probably be the coolest one in VR. I mean, it would be kind of scary, but like, seems like it'd be
funny
really
thing was, it
cool.
was like walk on this plank, and I couldn't do it. And then it was like, here, play this firefighter game where you have a jetpack and you go from rooftop to rooftop. Where? And
nice.
and I could do that fine, like floating around and stuff, but the standing there and take that step on your own, I could not do it.
It's funny what our brains interpret through our eyes, because you see all those videos of, usually it's like
my favorite.
someone's like dad, but they're like jumping,
walking into a wall,
like
jumping
jumping
down
through the TV,
Yeah.
or like trying to punch somebody,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
like they just immediately, their brain just like forgot that they're in a game
That,
world.
the cumbersome controls, the fooling your body, the prices Nicky has said in the past, all that comes together to a platform that people just are not ready to jump to, and I don't blame them. I've had fun in VR. I do think it's impressive, but it is not my preferred way of playing games. So, I mean, like that coupled with how much I am not enjoying the PS5 is why I haven't gone back to that game I really wanted to play, that I played a demo for in VR and was awesome. The, puzzle game with the little people. Humanity?
Oh, Humanity.
Yeah.
See,
that's-
can you still play it? I thought that wasn't like the.
The demo you can't play anymore. The full game's out. It's been out for a while now.
Yeah, I mean, from what I've played, I liked, but I feel like it would lose its luster unless it gets a little more interesting, like Humanity, because I played that Star Wars game, and then I played that demo for the one that's pissing everybody off, Aloy,
Horizon.
Yeah. So, and it was like a lot of like ladder climbing, and like while I was doing it, I was like, wow, this is really cool. But like, I can see that being like, okay, who gives a crap after you've done it a couple of times, like.
Ladder climbing bugs me because it's just hands and your legs are just, you're standing on the ground. So like it doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
Gotta get VR leg things.
Yeah, VR boots.
Gotta get that boom, boom, boom.
We also have a Patreon question. Nikki Hill, did you know that you could join the
For
GoNintendo
$1.
Patreon for $1? Colossus did, and they say this: your mission,
$1.
should you choose to accept it, is to take one exclusive franchise from each of the big three, Nintendo, PlayStation, Xbox, and give the entirety of the IP to another company to publish exclusively from this day forward. Basically a three-way trade. Bonus points if you name a specific developer to give each franchise. What PlayStation or Xbox franchise would I want Nintendo to have? I don't.
Miyamoto already said he can do Halo.
Give him Halo. But for real though, what would I give Nintendo? Ape Escape from Sony. Boom. Done. Lock that one in 100%.
And give them Banjo-Kazooie.
And it's perfect. Microsoft, give them Banjo-Kazooie. There you go. Nintendo's are done. What Nintendo franchise give to PlayStation and Xbox? It's like asking what ones do I want to see ruined.
But Xbox owns Bethesda, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Dude, just have one of them take Pokemon because you don't care about that.
Give Captain
Yeah, that's a good idea.
give Captain Toad's treasure tracker to Bethesda.
No.
Why?
We can't.
Like
Why?
Because it's a great game.
Did they do like what do they do? They did
I guess like give Fire Emblem to Xbox, which I 150% do not want, but I guess you got the RPG teams over there to do something with it. Oh, I hate this question. What am I giving the PlayStation? Jesus Christ. What game would you like the soul ripped out of?
PlayStation can have Emio and the Smiling Man.
I don't even like that, but I
No, but can we give? It's like we can give something. Who the developer that did like Eco and Shadow of the Colossus or something?
sure.
Let's give them something.
Well, yeah,
That
what?
Wii Music.
Yeah, sure, give away Wii Music. That's
Kidding.
fine. There,
Kidding.
that's a great
Kidding.
answer.
Kidding.
Yes, take Wii Music.
No, like those games are, good games.
What is your point here? Eco's a good game. Yeah, it doesn't mean they're going to make a good.
Just
Whatever.
I'm thinking of things that like play to their strengths. So what can we?
Yeah,
give
that's
them?
why I did Fire Emblem to Microsoft because they got a lot of RPG developers. So I guess there'd be a chance
RPG.
they could do something with it. I shouldn't say I'm not gonna like it. Who knows if I would like it? But it's not gonna be Fire Emblem anymore. It's gonna be something else.
Yo, wait a minute. Give
Made me sick to my stomach.
Sony could give that robot game to Nintendo. too.
Astrobot.
Yeah.
That'd be great. Yeah. No, I'll let them keep Astrobot because it's got all the PlayStation stuff. And I got to go back to Astrobot. Just I've seen like 2 other people have the same taste in their mouth from that game about the all hail PlayStation, and that ruins the experience for them. So I'm the odd man out on that. And also here, I do not understand that game getting so many soundtrack of the year wins. Because I've heard a lot of the soundtrack. It's fine. It's bouncy. It's cheery. I can't understand how it got nominated best soundtrack. I really can't. I really cannot. And I've listened to the soundtrack outside of the game separately to see what I'm missing. It's not a bad soundtrack, but I don't know. I don't know what's going on there.
I
What if we
trust
give-
you
what if
when
we
it
give-
comes to music.
This is a terrible idea. But like give Mario Kart to Sony.
What? And they turn it into Gran Turismo?
Yeah, why not? Let's give them a shot. Let's just see what they
Give
do.
Nintendo, take your number one, literally your biggest franchise, and give it to Sony. I
I
mean,
would-
for the purposes of this, that's not important.
Yeah, I
but-
mean, I don't play Smash Brothers, so I would say give Smash Brothers over to them.
oh my! Sony already tried that, and it failed so bad.
Well,
Remember
then it'd have to come
PlayStation
back,
All
right?
Stars? No. Yeah, because nobody
Not
bought it.
Really, no.
All your favorite PlayStation characters, like Kratos, and who else was in that? Nathan Drake. Who was in that?
Joel.
Let's see who was in that.
The oh my god, what's the raccoon cat burglar's
Sly
name?
Cooper.
Thank you.
I'm gonna look up the characters. in that.
Ratchet and or
Ratchet
Clank.
and or Clank.
Fat Princess was in it. Nathan Drake was in it. Sackboy was in it. Dante. It's their own game, and they can't even. Jesus. Parappa. Okay, fine. Parappa. Yes, makes sense. I get it. Ratchet and Clank makes sense.
Parappa
Give
is not a big
Parappa
fighter,
to,
is he?
to
No,
Nintendo.
but Smash Brothers is a whole bunch of characters that are not big fighters, but they all make sense.
They don't fight, don't they? Who's not a fighter?
Olimar?
or more.
Well, he's not a fighter, but
Louis.
he
Well, who's not a fighter? Olimar? Well, he's not a
no,
fighter.
but he doesn't do his own bidding.
You
he-
asked who's not a fighter. I said Olimar.
And how do you fight with Olimar in the game? You throw,
throw
Pikmin?
Pikmin.
Yeah, and that's what I would expect from Olimar. He
Okay.
just throws Pikmin at
What is your
things.
question then? You said who's
What
not a
question?
fighter, like in Nintendo games, correct?
Yeah.
Isabel,
I don't know. Oh, okay, there you go.
the villager.
Yeah. Animal Crossings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
the
it's an
Mii's.
interesting question.
Although they box. So
What else could there be?
um
What other
I'd say
what
give
other-
Wii Sports Resort.
Cole McGrath from
Sony.
Infamous was in PlayStation All Stars. Jack and Daxter, you son of a bitch. Sweet Tooth. I mean, Sweet Tooth is fine, whatever. But
Hmm.
it's not characters that are people like I got all my favorites from childhood. Sweet Tooth.
Yeah.
Sweet
Isaac Clarke from Dead
Twisted
Space.
Metal.
What about Heihachi Mishima?
He was in it.
He was.
Yeah.
He's great. Now that's you don't get much more
Big
iconic
Daddy.
than that.
Big Daddy from BioShock. Like even Sony knows we don't have enough characters to do this.
I mean, if you didn't say from BioShock, my brain wasn't going there. Like I wasn't thinking that. But
yeah, Sony has characters that people recognize, but not the kind of character, not the amount of characters, and not the kind of characters you want to see like in a Smash Brothers ripoff. Their characters just don't really work for that. Parappa does. Ratchet and Clank do. Jack and Daxter do. Crash Bandicoot does.
But yeah, like a Nathan Drake is like weird in a game like that,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
how Nintendo gets away with it. They've got
'Cause their
They've got
characters-
Snake, and it's not weird for some reason.
Yeah, because they make a point to adapt characters that begin and make sense. There's at least a path for Metal Gear or for Snake to make sense. Like the guy from Dead Space, it just there's nothing to it. Like
Oh yeah, Isaac.
and
He doesn't even have any friggin' lines in the first game.
I'm not saying a PlayStation All Stars can't exist. I just don't
they-
agree with
they
much of the
rebooted it,
roster,
right?
and the PlayStation fans don't really care about that.
Kept you waiting, huh?
There you go. That was Colossus. Great question, but also a horrifying question.
Yeah. Also, don't ever ask it again.
Very stressful question. I have no problem with PlayStation and Xbox franchises. I think should go to Nintendo, but
It is
way around.
interesting, and like I hate to say that we're fanboys for that, but even though we kind of are, but like there's something about it where like I can see Nintendo adapting their
yeah,
those titles
because
better than vice versa.
Because if you're going the other way around, like if these franchises from PlayStation and Xbox are going to Nintendo, you know who's making the games. Nintendo. If it goes to PlayStation and Xbox, what you have to pick which developer in those are making it. It's not like, a blanket Xbox or a blanket PlayStation. Sure, there's PlayStation Studios, but it doesn't mean quite the same thing. Like
right.
So when it goes over to them, you're like, who's going to make it and what are they doing with it? At Nintendo, you're like, oh, Nintendo is going to take it and they'll do like Ape Escape to Nintendo makes perfect sense. Like it's the right kind of franchise. Like I wouldn't want, I wouldn't want Uncharted to go to Nintendo. I'd be like, no, they're not the company to do that. That wouldn't
course
work.
not,
That's a
yeah.
bad idea. There's plenty of franchises on PlayStation and Xbox where I don't think Nintendo would be the one to do it. Halo, I don't. That doesn't
Imagine
make
if
sense.
Naughty Dog did a new Zelda. And you got a dark, gritty Zelda where, you got
No, hold.
I won't even say
hold,
anything else
let
I was going
Naughty
to say.
Dog
But
do Disaster Day of Crisis.
There you go. That works. There you go. That's a great answer.
Nobody
Got
wants that game.
there.
That's a great answer. They could do something with that. I wholeheartedly agree
So I'm saying,
with
like
that.
thinking, like what Nintendo
But they'd
stuff
make
has
it
like
woke.
failed horribly. They could really use a
I don't know what
update.
sales expectations were for that game. I can't imagine it met them, but I don't know. Yes, that would work. I think they could do something there. Yeah, so we figured out some stuff. There's options, but yes, it's not just a fanboy perspective. Give Nintendo anything; they can make it great. No, they can't. There's franchises at Xbox and PlayStation that I would not want to go to Nintendo because it makes 0 sense. And
SD says Project Hammer.
sure, why not? Give it to Microsoft or Sony. I don't care. They could do whatever. And no music, as we said, but please send your music to goninpod@gmail.com.
where?
goninpod@gmail.com.
Maybe I will.
Put music in the title. Help out your local mom
Help.
brain. She will be here next week. All right, and then that's it. We're done.
You would think that,
I do.
but there's one last thing that we need to
I
discuss.
would like to hear the views of Deux.
Dues views. It's never news. The people have spoken. The robot has spoken. And it's time for Dues views. It's never news, but it's dues. So, ladies and gentlemen, you know that I have my spiders and flies flying and crawling all over the video game sphere to bring me the greatest rumors that are out there. And they're all real rumors.
Starring.
There's something I have to mention about this week's rumor. Usually they are rumors. This one actually turns out to be true. So this is exclusive headlining news, and we're happy to bring it to you. So, ladies and gentlemen,
What
we
a
know
treat for you, Kirby. You're here the week that it's real news.
never
It's
happens.
truths,
Never happens
truths.
like
Feel
this.
so honored.
So, well, wait till you hear how great this one is. It's not stupid at all. So, we've talked a little bit earlier about the Seattle Mariners and how they're going to have a big Nintendo patch on their sleeve for both away games and home games, different patches for different uniforms, and isn't that exciting? But the fun doesn't stop there, folks. The Seattle Mariners are changing their mascot. They're still going to be known as the Mariners.
I had to worry this.
So Linebeck from Phantom Hourglass is going to be the new.
Wow.
Yeah, he's going to be the new mascot. They've got the whole suit and everything, and they even announced who's going to be wearing the suit, ladies and gentlemen. I'll let you freaking take a guess as to who's going to be wearing it and running around the baseball diamond as Lineback.
Yep.
Charles Martinet, ladies and gentlemen, the greatest ambassador Nintendo has ever had.
Baseball, baseball. I love the game baseball. Get out there, Mariners. Play baseball. There you go.
And so he's going to be the new mascot, and it says here, "Go team."
Oh, okay.
Right.
Hi, Marsboro. Good to see you. And that's that very true story for today. Oh, that's SD. That's a great gift for spiders.
glad
There he
it's
is. Ritz is Lineback doing his favorite thing, strangling a child. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Stay tuned to the after show for Deux Wheel of Fortune chatter. But for the rest of you, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.
Have a good
Goodbye,
week,
everybody.
everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye, everybody. Goodbye.
All right, dude, you've been holding it in. You have
It's really,
the
it's
floor.
not a big deal. It's just funny. We were watching Wheel of Fortune the other day, and they've got the new host Ryan Seacrest there, and I noticed that he was wearing a suit. He was dressed nice.
Real quick, was that this week?
It was on Tuesday.
Okay.
And he was dressed nice. Don't get me wrong. And I'm sure his suit costs more than my house, but like he wasn't wearing a tie, and which doesn't bother me. But like I want to say he had like 4 buttons unbuttoned. He looked like he was Don Juan, like going to a club in like Ibiza or something.
In the Discord, I'm sending you a clip from the episode. It is the exact outfit Deux is talking about, just so you have a visual.
And I was just like, man, what he like how classless. Like Pat would always have a tie, at least, and I hate Pat Sajak, which is how I'm being irrational, because I'm like sticking up for Pat Sajak against an untied host. But I was just like, at least he can button up a couple, like, just leave one unbuttoned. You look a little like it looks like a base for a dog to scrub. Beverly Hills Cop fans will know what I'm talking about. But yeah, like I don't know. And I mentioned it in due fashion, where like, yeah, like it bugged me enough to mention something, but like obviously I was playing up how bugged I was, because I think it's funny, and it's never funny because
it is funny.
Well, I find it funny. Most people are like, "Oh God, like I think he's serious. Let's walk on eggshells around him." So then
you're way too good about that. I've known you for decades, and I still do not know sometimes when you are
acting.
Yeah, when you're not very riled up, and I think I might be wrong, but I think there's a fine line where you can quickly cross over to being genuinely upset about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny with you, especially because it's like I don't necessarily need you to be like, yeah, what the heck is he wearing? But you go a step further, which is, it's not even going a step further. It's just how you are, where you're just like, I didn't even notice what he was wearing. And that like sets me off, because then it's like, how do you watch the show every day and you don't see what he's wearing? And then it's like, well, who gives a crap what he's wearing, unless he's like butt naked or wearing like the Borat onesie with the banana suit. I mean, even then that would be funny. And it's not that I'm appalled or like offended. It's just kind of like, I noticed it, and it's like, button up your shirt a couple. Like, I mean, it doesn't need to be that button, but again, it's not a big deal. It was just kind of funny. And it's one of those banters that I like to have with RMC, where I'm on one extreme and he's on this other extreme, where he's just, since he was 5, knows how to control both parts of his bowels and
I know,
pee.
that's right.
But,
bowels and pee.
Which is very important when you're watching Wheel of Fortune.
I love nothing more than
Peeing and pooping.
not heated, what's the word?
Passionate debate.
Lively game show banter in particular. I do love it. But yeah, so Deux is joking, and I may not know sometimes if he is joking. Then I share my genuine answer, and my genuine answer riles Deux.
It always riles me up, just because I feel
And I'm not
like
doing it to push back. Like I'm like Deux sharing what I think is his genuine opinion, and then I share my genuine. But Deux was somewhat joking, somewhat serious, and then hearing my genuine opinion, he's like, "What's this guy talking about?"
It's just so funny. And what was even funnier is you were like, "Man, my dad said the exact same thing this week," and I was
All the time.
and like I'm not ashamed of that at all, but I do think I do have like old man
Without fail,
complaints.
he
So
will
you're
talk
upset that
about.
he doesn't have a tie.
It's not even that. It's like he had so many buttons unbuttoned.
Look at
and
it.
it was
Oh, you were
It's
here.
hot under those lights. I wasn't paying attention.
The video
to
is in the
show.
chat.
Well,
the
it-
video is in the chat.
Well,
can
you
see
I
his
watch
outfit.
it.
you're
I don't-
gonna look and you're gonna be like, it's not a big deal, because it's not. Like, it's just something I noticed
It
because
just
I was
the top button, wasn't it?
I was like, it seems like that's excessive. And then I was
There you go.
extra surprised.
Yeah.
I was extra
The
surprised.
only reason it wasn't open more is because his microphone was holding him shut.
Well, here's what another thing, and I might be wrong, RMC, so you can correct me because I am going to be
I'm ready.
analyzing you. You didn't notice Seacrest's outfit at all, but whenever we watch Family Feud, you know everything about Steve Harvey and what he's wearing. But first of all, he's dressed to the dang T. But second of all, I think it's just because you don't like Steve Harvey, and you're not this type of person, but maybe subconsciously you're looking for a reason to like barb at him, where Seacrest, you don't hate him or like him. So you might not even notice.
The only reason I do it with Steve Harvey is because he has his own line of suits, and I'm always like, "Is this a Steve Harvey suit or not?" That's the only reason
It
like. He
has
talks
to be
about his
every
suits all
time,
the
right?
time, so I'm like,
Right.
"Is this one of his suits or not?" That's the only. And so when I
Seacrest
see
is-
Steve Harvey in my mind, I'm always like, he has a suit company. I wonder if this
It's
is one of his.
almost like
So it's always there.
It's almost like a uniform.
It's
with
always
him.
part of his thing for me.
he's I mean, it's a bit that's another side of his business that he's showing up wearing that, and he's promoting it basically. Seacrest is business cash. He's showing up to have a good time. Also, it's hot under those lights.
It's funny looking at the photo of it because it doesn't look nearly as egregious as it seemed on Tuesday when I was looking at it, but yeah, it's really not bad. I mean, and he pulls it off. Like
That
it's
picture though, is he missing a tooth?
it's nothing to get. He kind of does look like he got into a bar fight, but yeah, no, it's not a big deal. It's like funny thing. Like I find it funny to like go off on stupid stuff, but sometimes it stems from somewhere. You know what I mean? Even though it's a joke,
SD
deep down, I'm sure there's part of me that's like, why doesn't he button his shirt?
SD said Seacrest, more like Seachest.
Oh, that's perfect.
I am 100% with you, Do. I also love that stuff. It's just something with you and I where we meet in the cross section of like, I give a genuine answer, it riles you up, and then I obviously love talking about game shows, so it riles me up, and then it just goes back and forth. I just want to, again, this is just for funsies, and we're just having a laugh here, just so we can really hone in on this. This exceeds the file limit.
It's
Bull
too much
shovel
chest.
it does.
It's just too much chest.
Give me a second. I won't leave you hanging for too long.
Yeah, I mean, he's a new wave of celebrity, right? He's casual.
New wave. How old's the man? 50 something?
SD says, I think RMC should come to the podcast next week with an unbuttoned shirt. You wouldn't have any idea because the beard would be in the way.
Very true.
Oh,
I have
I don't
done it
think
at
I'm not
weddings
going to be here
before.
next week.
There you go. There we go. Just so we can. I zoomed in and circled the problem area for you. What is that? Two buttons?
If it wasn't for that microphone,
That's what I said.
that'd be even more
It would-
coming
yeah,
out.
That
the
microphone
buttons
is holding-
underneath aren't button either. But you can't see them. It's just.
Why does he even have buttons? He'd probably save a bunch of money. I mean, I know he doesn't need
Next
to save
week,
money.
I heard
but
next week he's going to show up in a towel.
Oh, then I'll need a towel. Mom Brain just sent me something very exciting.
Oh yeah, they got him.
We've been all over looking for these goddamn peanut butter and jelly or peanut butter and jam Reese's cups, and she finally found them.
Jam it in my
We
mouth.
literally we've been all over the place, but we're not shopping at Target or Walmart. So I'm sure they had them, but the other places that were said to have had them did not have them. All right, that's it. Next week's show will only be about game shows and what people are wearing. So look forward to that. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Play some games, rest, relax, hang out with family. You deserve it. We'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
And we are done.
Oh, we didn't speak.